Meeting to order. At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Woodford, second by Ms. Hamlin. Is there a discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, please say no. The motion carries. The agenda is approved. At this time, we will have invocation by our own board member, Dr. Henry Ficklin. Dr. Ficklin?
Thank you, President Johnson, and I did leave the other meeting earlier so that I could meditate before I pray. Let us pray. O eternal spirit of truth, beauty, and goodness, you are greater than our minds conceive you to be. Your majesty and power are beyond our keenest imaginations, and yet we must presume to speak your mind and know your heart. We come assured that you are ready to meet us at our point of deepest need. As Board of Education members, there are decisions to be made which affect not only our lives, but the lives of others, especially the children. There are commitments that have to be made to make more of our service than now we are doing. There are paths of error which we need to break by the power of love for children and the outcome of their lives. We need to start afresh in this new year that you have blessed us with and leave behind old ways of functioning. Help us this day to be dissatisfied with ourselves and with the thoughts we are thinking, with the deeds we are doing, and with the service we are giving. Help us to know that we can be better than we are. Help us to be pleasant with those around us, to be willing to take our share of the load, to bear with fortitude the trials that come our way. Help us to lose ourselves in the work that you have given us to do. Forgive us for our negligence, shame us for our assumptions, and grant us the power, poise, and peace that come only from you and which can be passed on to those whose lives are literally in our hands, the children. Free us from ourselves, purge us from bitterness, hatred, jealousy, envy, and make us fit servants of yours and to the awesome responsibility of educating children that you have entrusted to us. Guide us in righteousness through Jesus Christ our Lord, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Dr. Ficklin. This time we will hear from Instructional Services, chaired by Dr. Lisa Garrett Bard.
Good afternoon, and thank y'all for being here today. We have one item on the agenda for instructional services, and it is a presentation overview of the CCRPI performance for school year 2025. We'll have Dr. Tamara Candice is going to share this with us, or Dr. Jones.
Good evening, Board President Johnson, board members, Superintendent Dr. Sims, and Senior Cabinet. The Office of School Leadership and Support is excited to present an overview of the district's 2024-25 College and Career Ready Performance Index, better known as the CCRPI. During this presentation, we will explain all 5 components of the CCRPI, highlight school and district performance, and clarify how continuous improvement affects schools. Our roadmap for today: CCRPI component overview, school and district level results, 3-year trend data, highlights and celebrations, and finally, next steps to sustain progress, address areas of need, and ensure continuous improvement. The takeaway for today: to ensure clear communication of the district's 24-25 CCRPI results and progress, as well as the district's commitment to data-informed decision-making. This presentation today is aligned to strategic goal 1, student achievement, and the priority areas, literacy, numeracy, achievement, and graduation rate. As with every meeting, we focus on our mission and vision. We are on a mission to maximize student achievement and students' social emotional well-being. As a result, our vision is that our students will learn, lead, innovate, and serve as productive and caring citizens. Where do we envision each of our students? They will be represented in one or more of the 4 Me outcomes: matched and enrolled, motivated to enlist, meaningfully employed, and or molded for entrepreneurship. Content mastery, progress, closing gaps, readiness, and graduation rate. Each school can earn 100 points in each component. Elementary and middle schools earn ratings in 4 of 5 areas: content mastery, progress, closing gaps, and readiness. High schools also receive ratings for each of those components, plus an additional component, graduation rate. This comprehensive roadmap helps educators, parents, and community members promote and improve college and career readiness for all students. Now, as we move into the data, board members, please note in your appendix you have 3-year trend data for each category broken down by school. For this presentation, we will focus only on the past school year. Content mastery trend data. Content mastery addresses whether students are achieving at levels necessary to perform at the next grade, college, or career, and is measured in ELA, math, science, and social studies. A minimum score of 60 is the district's goal. As a district, we notice an overall increase at all 3 grade levels from the previous year. Next, while the state does not set goals for each component, the district has set a goal for each component that are directly aligned to our district's strategic plan. To provide a quick, direct view of the overall data, we have identified 3 specific look-fors. We have provided the district's goal or expectation as a blue linear bar, thus showing which schools met the district's goal. While some schools may not have met the district goal, improvements were made, and in some instances, regressions were noted. Those schools are represented in green and red. Green bars represent improvement from the previous year, and red bars represent a decrease from the previous year. Please note these representations on the subsequent slides. In elementary, the district goal, as indicated with the blue horizontal line, is 60. 7 elementary schools met the district goal. 3 schools, Alexander 2, Carter, and Springdale, outperformed the state's average. 12 of the 21 schools increased from the previous year. Middle school content mastery. All middle schools increased content mastery, with Miller Magnet meeting the district's target. High school. All high schools increased content mastery, with Central and West Side showing significant gains as indicated with the yellow star. Let's move to progress. Progress measures student growth. As a district, elementary and middle school 3-year trend data are encouraging and continue to strengthen. A breakdown for all elementary schools. The district goal, as indicated by the blue line, is 90 or above. 7 elementary schools met the district's goal of 90 or above. 11 elementary schools met or exceeded the state average. 15 of 21 elementary schools improved and increased their progress score. In middle school, 5 middle schools increased progress scores, with Miller Magnet also meeting the district's goal. Our high schools. High school progress remains a focus area, and the data gives us clarity for targeted action. Howard High School exceeded the state average, and 3 of 7 high schools increased progress scores, Central, Rutland, and VIP.
Next, we'll move to closing gaps. Closing gaps reflects equity-focused improvement and shows positive district-wide trends. Our district target is 80%. Elementary data indicates that the district scored higher than the state, and 8 schools met the district target of 80%. Elementary schools such as Sonny Carter, Southfield, and Williams Elementary earned perfect scores. Middle school data indicates an increase in the district average of closing gaps. Specifically, 3 middle schools increased in closing gaps, and VIP Middle School scored a 100. At the high school level, high school indicates an increase as well in the district average of closing gaps and is higher than the state average. 6 high schools increased in closing gaps, with several earning perfect scores. Those schools are Central High School, Southwest, and VIP High School. And VIP High School also exceeded the district target of 80%. Next, let's move to readiness. Readiness measures whether students are participating in activities that prepares them to demonstrate readiness either for the next grade level, for college, or the career. Our target here is 85%. District-wide, readiness outcomes continue trending upward across the district. At the elementary level, elementary schools indicate an increase in the district average of readiness. 17 of our 21 schools increased in readiness. 5 schools met the district target, and 4 schools exceeded the state average in readiness. This shows strong alignment to future preparation as those elementary students move to middle and high school. At the middle school level, all middle schools increased in readiness, with VIP Middle School exceeding the state average. Additionally, Miller Magnet met the district target as well. At the high school level, high school indicates that the district average increased in readiness, and all 7 high schools increased in this area. This demonstrates steady post-secondary preparation. For graduation rate, Bibb County has surpassed the state graduation rate for 3 consecutive years. Our Bibb County target is 90%. Graduation outcomes continue to strengthen across all high schools, with Central, Rutland, and Southwest High School currently attaining that 90% target.
Now, let's look at some notable recognitions and celebrations. The Georgia Department of Education recently named its 2025 Title I Reward Schools, with Burt L. Hunt Magnet Elementary School among the honorees. This distinction reflects the top 5% of Title I schools in the state based upon improvement in English language arts, mathematics, and Burt L. Hunt was one of only 70 schools statewide chosen for this recognition. Thank you. Next, Howard High School, a school you may have seen positively in the news. Howard High School received high recognition from the Georgia Department of Education for successfully exiting the TSI list. Yeah, clap for that too. It's time to celebrate. Additionally, the Georgia Department of Education recognized 6 of our schools making progress by a 5% increase in CCRPI content mastery, component score from 2024 to 2025, and having a score of 80 or higher on one of their other components. And those schools are Burned, Bruce, Ingram Pie, Southfield, Union, and Williams. Additionally, at our last MVP meeting, we celebrated our schools who were our literacy leaders, which is Alex 2, Dr. MLK Jr. Elementary School, Springdale, and VIP. And our math leaders, Appling, Ballard Hudson, Burdell Hunt, Howard Middle School, Miller Middle School, and VIP. Southfield was recognized for their structured literacy coach, Willett Driscoll's leadership, which led third graders scoring at or above proficient learners in ELA, and a 10 percentage point increase in the third graders reading at or above grade level. We're so proud of the leadership from these principals. Again, another round of applause. Sonny Carter Elementary School hit targets in content mastery, closing gaps, and progress with an increase in readiness. Sonny Carter also has the highest composite score in the district. Kudos to the principal, Latricia Reeves, and her leadership and her team on this accomplishment. Next, let's talk about sustainability. Our focus is to ensure that high-quality instruction in every classroom, every day, for all of our students. To support this, we're implementing a coherent instructional support model built on 4 key strategies for sustainability. First, we conduct monthly embedded instructional rounds. These are purposeful observations focused on Tier 1 instruction, instructional trends, and how we can monitor rigor and task alignment. Second, we provide leadership capacity development. Through ongoing coaching, we build principals and their leadership teams skills to identify and independently monitor instruction, analyze data, and implement targeted improvement plans. Third, we use continuous feedback and monitoring cycles to provide timely, actionable feedback informed by the assessment data and classroom evidence. This allows instructional teams to make real-time adjustments that improve student learning. Finally, we work closely in partnership with teaching and learning to ensure that we implement consistent instructional expectations across classrooms and to ensure schools have every student in mind that they receive a high-quality instruction that's aligned to the district goals. Now let's look at our next steps. Based on the current instructional data and observations, our next steps are focused on execution, coherence, and impact. First, we will continue to build instructional leadership capacity by coaching principals and their instructional leadership teams. This work helps to sharpen role clarity and strengthens instructional coherence. Second, we're narrowing the focus to high-leverage actions. Schools that prioritize a small number of CCRPI-aligned strategies that have the greatest impact on student achievement, we make sure that we will closely monitor the execution rather than spreading our efforts too thin. Third, we're strengthening professional learning communities. In PLCs, we tightly align standards, emphasize instructional rigor, analyze student work, and focus on Tier 1 instruction and responsive instructional planning. Fourth, we will use data to drive improvement through monthly data reviews. These reviews allow us to monitor progress, identify early trends, and adjust strategies to accelerate outcomes for students. Finally, we will ensure accountability and continuous feedback. Through ongoing coaching, feedback cycles, and monitoring, we will maintain alignment between classroom instruction, school improvement plans, and CCRPI targets. Collectively, these next steps keep our focus on what matters most: strong leadership, effective instruction, and improved outcome for all students. This concludes our presentation. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Rinder. Do we have any questions for these wonderful people here? Yes, ma'am. Dr. Woodford.
Thank you, Mr. Dr. Rinder. Mr. Dr. Rinder. Okay.
Currently, Mr.
Thank you, soon to be Dr. Rinder. Looking at page 7, I guess maybe slide 7. The content mastery 3-year trend. So what's going on here between elementary to middle and then middle to high school?
I'm sorry, clarify that question. So what do you mean what's going on?
So
You're talking about how the number of the data is improving more rapidly or
Yes.
higher content mastery for the elementary versus middle versus high.
So are you doing something different or better or?
So one of the things that we are doing is, as we talked about before, as we've mentioned several times in presentations, is the instructional rounds process. And part of that instructional rounds process is making sure that the data, that the instruction that's happening in classrooms every day is aligned to the state standards. One of the things that Bibb started doing also was the letters training and the literacy initiative. And the more that you do that literacy initiative, you'll start to see that data trend upwards. As you look at the next slide, you'll see that several of our elementary schools did increase content mastery, but all of our middle schools and high schools increased in content mastery. So the more that we're able to build the foundation for our elementary students, the more you'll be able to see that data continue to trend higher.
That's what I was hoping the answer would be. Thank you.
You're welcome. Dr. Fick.
Dr. Ficklin.
Thank you for the presentation. And of course, what kinds of things go into the goal that the system sets for the students to reach at the various schools?
So what went into last year when the Office of School Leadership and Supports was created, our team sat down and looked at the strategic plan and what the outcomes and the goals were for the strategic plan. And at that time, we started to set those goals so that we could incrementally see the progress. Also, we wanted to make sure that the goals that we were setting were also attainable for our schools. And so the schools that you see with stars, those schools had a 9 percentage point gain in a 9 or more percentage point gain in their content mastery. And so what you're seeing is us being able to be very intentional about what the targets that we set so that we can continue to see that improvement. Also, as we're improving, other school districts and schools are improving as well. If we hit if we set a goal of 60% for CCRPI for content mastery, that would help us to ensure that, one, we don't have any schools added to the list, but also, two, it helps us to ensure that we don't have any schools, that all of our schools will be able to be removed from the list. Because in order for it to be able to be added to the list, content mastery is the first lever that the state looks at to determine the cut score for those schools that are going to be on the list. So setting a target of 60, we believe that setting a target of 60 would allow our schools not to be able to be identified for the state list coming for this 25-26 school year.
Yeah, I asked that question because it seems to me that with the number of schools that we have that are so low, a gradual goal would benefit them better because you have just a number of schools who are way down. And we got some that have made some increases, and I don't know what they did by 9%. They must have been 19.
Yes, yes, sir.
To start with.
Yes, sir.
And so what you're asking them to do is to come up by 40 points to get to that goal. And I don't know whether that's realistic, but you all out there working with the students, so maybe perhaps you thought it was realistic. I wouldn't think it would be realistic. I would probably set it a little lower so you could have more schools obtaining the goal and then getting invigorated by that attainment, and then go the next year, move the goal up a little higher. That's just me.
It is definitely a rigorous target, and we understand that.
Now, I understand CCRPI very good, and of course, content level. But now, explain to me when you talk about closing the gap, and what that includes, and how is that measured, and readiness, what that includes, and how is that measured?
So closing the gaps, make sure that it's adding all of the improvements for all of our subgroups. So our subgroups for our students with disabilities, all of our English language learners, it looks at ELA, math, and all of those targets. So how those students are doing from year to year compared to their previous year. And it's a 3%, thank you, Steve. It's a 3% increase every year. That the target, whatever the target is for that year, then the next year is usually a 3% increase that the state sets for that target.
So there is a target that's given for closing the gap every year. And then, because it seemed like a lot of them were really good at closing the gap. That was the best thing I saw. So I want to know, how was that measured? And so they did get the 3%. Is that what that is saying?
Yes,
That's all they had to get was 3% additional from what they were the previous year.
yes.
Did that give them 100 when they got the 3%?
Say that, or I'm sorry, repeat that one.
Did that give them 100 once they got to the 3%?
No, it didn't give everybody 100.
I know everybody didn't get it, but some of them had it.
Right,
That's
some
what
of them
I'm
did
saying.
have 100.
If
So
all
if
they had to do was
all of
3%.
if all of their subgroups met that target, then they would have been able to get the 100%
Okay, but the 3% target, that's what we're
Yes,
talking
sir.
about. Okay. Now,
for every subgroup.
okay, now explain to me what is readiness.
Readiness measures where the students are participating in activities, preparing them for and demonstrating readiness for the next level, college or career. That also includes your at or above grade level in reading. It includes your attendance. It also includes your beyond the core, which is your art, music, PE courses as well.
So looking at readiness in one particular school that was very low, I think at the lowest of all, and then looking at graduation rate, which was one of the highest graduation rate, could it be surmised that the students who are graduating aren't ready?
I don't think that you can make that correlation.
What's that?
I would not say that you can make that correlation.
What correlation could you make?
That each of those categories that we mentioned has a point in a percentage rate range. And so for each of those categories, there's some points that are attained for each of those schools for those points. And so the graduation rate is based on kids completing their Carnegie units. So readiness and Carnegie units are two different things.
I understand that, and you used the word correlation. I was glad to hear you say it because I said it very early last year, and that's that question about correlation between graduation rate and CCRP, and of course, content mastery is low. I think one of them was down in the 20s, but they still had the highest graduation rate. And I'm just asking, and I know you wouldn't say it, but somebody else who's looking at that with low readiness and low content mastery and high graduation rate will mean that we're graduating students who really don't know what they need to know, and they are not ready to do what they need to do. That's my assessment, and that will be my correlation of it. But we're going to move on from there.
Yep.
My other question,
Dr. Fick,
go ahead.
if I could address, when we talk about content mastery, you're literally talking about the performance on 4 tests, sitting down for an hour and a half, 2 hours at a time, compared to graduation, which is 180 days, the summertime, 9th grade through 12th grade to obtain your diploma. I would submit that none of us would be able to make a correlation between a one-time sitting compared to a 4-year experience. So when we talk about correlation, it definitely gives us an indicator in terms of a student's ability to demonstrate mastery in a course on an exam. But I would be careful to even correlate the two. We reckon, and the reason we want to share this information is because we expect and need for our students to perform better on these critical exams. Number one, because this is critical content that they're learning in the said class, and also that is one of those indicators in addition to graduation rate, and one of the for the CCRPI. And I think the state was intentional in identifying content mastery as a measure and graduation rate as a measure, and giving those different weights because they hold different weights.
And
But I'm very careful not to correlate the two.
And I understand that, and I've heard that explanation from you previously when I asked this question, I think way back in March or April. But at the same time, everybody who takes the test, take it at a one-time sitting. It's not something that's given over and over again. So if they're going to do not as well as other students who take the test, we can't say that that's the reason is because it's just a one-time test taking situation. That really is out of kilter with anything we do in education. But I'm moving on from that. My other question and my last question, Dr. Boyd, is I heard them say at one presentation about a test that was devised by the system to hear what students needed before they take the milestones test. And I think it was like an in-house kind of test that was, and I asked I want to see this test because what I'm hearing is it doesn't match with some of the things that the curriculum is asking for. And I have never heard a presentation on the DRC Beacon assessment. And my question is do we use the Beacon assessment?
Yes, sir. We do use the DRC Beacon. The DRC Beacon assessment was given in late December. We are currently disaggregating that data. I know that Teaching and Learning is currently working on that right now, and we are all looking at that data. And the schools that did take the Beacon, they are utilizing that data and making the necessary
So all
instructional
schools
adjustments.
didn't take it?
No.
But- And of course, when you look at the
Oh, I'm
data,
sorry. All third, fourth, and fifth grade students did take. I'm sorry, 3, 5, and 8.
Thank you.
My apologies.
The data that comes in from the Beacon assessment is right on mark with what the state curriculum is about. And when you look at the schools who have consistently used the Beacon assessment, their schools are continuing to score better and better on the milestone test. And that's why I was concerned that we have not heard a whole lot about the Beacon assessment in any of these presentations that I can remember. And if you've done one, then you need to remind me of when it was, because this is an assessment that is free from the state and is in line with the state's curriculum. And why would we go out and buy all these other things when we have something free, and invent something at home when we have something free that we can use to assess the students? And the assessment and the reports from what this particular assessment has done has been good all over the state.
Address Beacon.
So we use Beacon to help correlate and triangulate our data. So you mentioned the district assessments. We use the district assessments to help us get some benchmarking, and we still utilize the Beacon assessment as well, but it's only administered twice a year. So the monthly DUA, district unit assessments we use, allow us more frequent data to monitor student progress.
The Beacon assessment can be given as many times as you like a year.
They're extremely lengthy.
It can be given, that's what I'm saying. There's no limitation on how many times you can give the Beacon assessment.
Well, we follow the state recommendation for how we do it, and the state recommended twice a year for us. So we take the November administration, and then we'll take it again in
That's for
March.
schools that are doing good. When we have 14 schools that are on the failure list, I think we need to give it a little bit more often. I'm through. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you so much, team. Yeah, oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
I just wanted
Anna?
to say thank you for providing the 3-year disaggregated data for all the schools. It just made a little bit more sense to see schools that were meeting the target but still red because they had dropped a little bit from the previous year. And most of the schools that I looked at in all of those presentations were showing a steady step up. So I wanted to say thank you for providing that information, and it was very helpful.
Any other questions? Thank you again for your presentation.
Thank you.
And that is the work
That's
of
good.
instructional services. Because that's all we have tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Garrett. At this time, we will hear Fiscal Support Service Committee. Back to you, Ms. Hanlon.
Thank you, Madam President. Our first item is number FSS1, monthly financial statement presentation with Mr. Eric Bush.
Good afternoon again, Board President Johnson, board members, Superintendent Dr. Sims. Today, we're going to review the 5 months ending November 30th, 2025. We will start out with our general fund only results as of through November 30th, where we are reporting total assets of $72.6 million, total liabilities of $21.6 million, leaving us with a fund balance in November of $50.9 million. Looking at our revenue and expenses, we have collected $99.8 million, roughly 37% of our budgeted budgeted revenues. And we have expended or encumbered $122 million, roughly 42% of our budgeted expenses through November. This chart shows a correlation where our funds go. So 66% of those funds are directly attributed to instruction, pupil services, and improvement of instructional services. Looking at our all funds combined, we are reporting total assets of $772.5 million. We have total liabilities of $50.6 million, leaving us with a total fund balance of $721.8 million. Our cash on hand is reported on the next slide, where we have cash on hand of $16.1 million. Total investments on hand of $124.8, leaving us with total liquid assets of $140.9 million. And looking at our all funds statement of revenue and expenses, we have collected $154 million, roughly 43% of our budgeted revenues, and have expended or encumbered $192.7 million, approximately 48% of our budgeted expenditures. And lastly, looking at our SPLOST campaigns for the 2016 and 21, we continue to have $67 million in that 21 eSPLOST campaign, with total expenditures of $151.3 million. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you for your presentation. Are there any questions? Hearing none, moving on to FSS2, which is the fiscal year 2026 General Fund Budget Amendment Number 1.
Thank you and welcome again. Today we are bringing forth the FY 2026 General Fund Budget Amendment Number 1. The General Fund budget should be updated whenever new information arrives from federal, state, and local agencies so that it accurately reflects both expected and confirmed changes in revenue and expenses. Budget Amendment Number 1 presents a $1,120,933 increase to the current budgeted general fund ending balance of $47,023,847. The revised projected fund balance after this amendment would be $48,144,945. Details included in this budget amendment include proposed amendment to the October meeting where that action did not pass. It also includes findings that we found since that meeting and an additional detail about some grants to support children in poverty and mental health that are also included in this budget. Approximately $3.8 million has been included to increase revenues as a result of maintaining the millage rate last year. $415,000 are included to report funds provided by Macon Bibb County to support crossing guards and our truancy coordinator. We received $302,000 extra in additional pilot payments in excess of what we originally budgeted. And also the grant funds I just mentioned are $1.829 million to support children in poverty and experiencing mental health in the district. Next, we are showing adjustments to expenses where we have increased an estimated expense of $281,000, which was an estimated invoice for the Renaissance Learning Platform, an increase over the estimate. A decrease in expenses of $1.256 million, reduced from the Chromebook lease now funded through eSplost. We also reducing the overall budget by $1.275 million, where we have identified additional cost reductions that we don't anticipate spending this year. In one line, we also true up the estimated beginning fund balance each year. We estimate that beginning fund balance to develop the budget. Each year, we adjust that number to actual based on our actual ending fund balance for FY25. That adjustment is a positive adjustment of $1,715,163. And going to the bottom of this memo, where we are asking for $1.7 million to fund needed supports in GNETs and special education programs. The delineation there is approximately $1 million for GNETs, $700,000 for special education. That is the staff and benefits. We've increased the budget by $217,000 to represent previously board-approved salary and position adjustments that were done back in July or August. We are also included item number 3, $2.435 million for additional duties of transportation personnel that was omitted in the original budget. Number 4 is $2,030,000, which is an adjustment for attrition estimations in the original budget that we don't feel are necessary anymore. Those are calculations that affect all 37 schools and departments. There's a $577,000 adjustments to account for our Director of Partnerships, Projects, and Engagement, and 3 positions at the new Innovation Academy. And lastly, there's a $458,000 adjustment included in this budget amendment to account for security, custodial, and athletic supports at our events. So the recommendation is that the Board of Education approves budget amendment number 1 for the fiscal year 2026 general fund budget with a revised projected fund balance of $48,144,945.
You've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Johnson, seconded by Mr. Freeman. Are there any questions? Dr. Ficklin.
Thank you again, Mr. Bush, for your presentation. And of course, I think that I have established that I have some serious concerns about how those things were not in the budget. And the staffing, there's a staffing kind of situation that goes on. Where every principal has to name each and every person on their staff. Is that correct?
It is correct.
And then what, and the amount of money they need. I have the one that you gave us in the workshop.
Well, that's not necessarily correct, sir. I'm sorry. When we budget these, when we calculate these estimates, that calculation and that actual count do coincide sometimes. But the estimates are derived based on the need we put on an allocation sheet originally, and it's adjusted as we work through our budget work sessions each year.
Principals don't have to enumerate every staff member for the budget, even down to the custodians?
Yes, we balance those and reconcile those
mean,
staffing
my
allotments
question
at
is,
each
do
year
they
at
do
multiple points in the year.
My question is, in the staffing meeting, it's not every person on a principal staff accounted for in that staffing meeting.
They are.
Thank you. Now, the three positions that you say were not included in the budget, 2 teachers and 1 receptionist. The receptionist came from Central, and one of the teachers came from Howard. The other teacher, I think, may have been hired from the outside. And I can understand the outside hire not being included in the budget. But the 2 transfers, their money should have already been in the budget.
You would assume so.
Good evening. The receptionist that was at Central, she was counted at Central at that time when we did staffing. The Innovation Center, I do not believe we did staffing with them at that time because those teachers were not hired. We did have a custodian at that time, but not the teachers during staffing, which is held in 2nd or 3rd week in July, prior to school starting.
But once they were transferred to the Innovation Center, their salaries didn't go with them?
Oh, no, sir. The salaries stay at the
They
school.
stayed at the school?
Correct.
So
Yes,
then
sir.
Central would have an overage at their school?
No, sir, they replaced that
replaced-
receptionist. Yes, sir, she
Okay,
was
and
replaced.
So when they were transferred, nobody said, well, we need to put some salary with this.
Oh, we knew when that happened, when the staffing moved over there, we knew we had to budget for the teachers and
But it
the,
just didn't happen.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, the other thing is that the Director of Partnerships, Projects, and Engagement,
Yes, sir.
that was the first person that I voted on when I was on last January.
Yes, sir.
This is my year celebration. Y'all give me some high five. I stayed for a year. Many times I wanted to walk away, but I stayed for a year.
Well,
It was
thank you.
January of last year, 2025.
Yes, sir.
And we hired that person. And nobody thought to put that person in the budget.
So it was an oversight. So what happened is the former one
Still being
resigned.
paid.
She resigned. Yes, sir.
Still being
She
paid.
resigned on a service agreement. She was on a service agreement, and then that position was vacant. The new person started in
So
March.
the former person,
Yes,
when we hired the new person, was still on the payroll.
yes.
No,
She was on a
we can
service
get you details
agreement.
about that. She wasn't held in that
Y'all gonna
position.
What the answer is, please tell me. Agree with what the answer is. Was she on the budget, was she in the budget or not? Still being
Which-
paid?
Clearly, she was not in the budget.
She was not in the.
That's
budget.
what we put in this memo and
The new
described that
person
separate.
wasn't in the budget, but I'm talking about the old person was still in the budget.
No, sir. I would have to get with HR to see her termination date, but she was not on the regular payroll, and that's the job
Has she
record we
been
pulled.
terminated?
No, sir,
Has
she
had
is on a
termination
service
date? Last
agreement.
time I saw her, she was still working for the school system.
She's on a service agreement.
Well,
She's on a service agreement.
so we were still paying her,
Yes, sir.
and we hired a new person
Yes, sir.
and left the new person out of the,
Correct. But
But her payment now is coming out, not out of the general fund. She was supporting that grant. That is helping open the mental health, the school-based health centers.
so she could still work even though we needed a new person, and she still could do the work that she was doing before. I think she was ill or something of that nature, and she came back to work, still getting paid at the same job that we had hired a new person to do.
If I can clarify,
Please do.
the L.H. Williams Health Center started under the previous Director of Partnerships, Projects, and Engagement. What we celebrated last week was the result of continuing that work, and it was necessary to leave someone to oversee what they had already started and see it all the way through to completion. That was necessary, and that was an operational decision. She was not a full-time Director of Partnerships, Projects, and Engagement. What we saw last Friday was the result of that work being done. And while this is not relevant to this budget adjustment, I do want to make sure I clarify that. And the other part, I don't know how many times we have to say it, it was an omission. It was an error. We've put it in writing. The news has reported on it. I don't know what else we can say. It was an omission. It was an error, and we've identified it as such. And we're acknowledging it.
And we hear that. But at the time we hired the person to take the place, and that's just like any other teacher who goes off of their job, and we hire a person to take that teacher's place, and we say, well, we're going to let that teacher come back and teach and finish this unit that she started on, and we'll just pay her supplementary, even though we got another teacher sitting in the room. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay, we'll move on. You said what you can say about that. Now, GNET and special education program. At some point, I think we're going to have to get the attorney to give us an update on the 2016 lawsuit about GNET, so we'll have a better understanding of GNET, because I've asked questions over the last year about GNET and why we are not getting money from the other counties that are participating in GNET, and why we are doing all the paying when their counties are, and students from other counties are receiving that money. So I'm going to be asking, Madam Chairperson, that we get the attorney to give us an update on GNET. And of course, the board approved salary and position adjustments. You have $217,000. And I want to ask, what was any of those adjustments for the athletic director assistant that we disapproved? And is that person being paid just like this person on some kind of agreement?
That $217,000 does not include that position.
I know it does not include position because we voted the position down, but I'm asking, is the person still getting money just like the woman who was the director of partnership projects and engagement was still getting money after we had hired a new person? Is a person being paid to assist the athletic director?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They are being paid.
Yes, sir.
So when I said that back to this board, that was a $20,000 payment that was going to go to her, I wasn't incorrect. I'm through. I have no more questions.
Are there other questions? Mr. Morton?
Mr. Bush, the $1.8 million grant for students experiencing poverty, support mental health, does that money basically supplant general fund money that we had dedicated to those areas in the last approved budget?
No.
Okay, so help me understand that. Okay.
These are purely supplemental. Yeah, they deliver those funds via the QBE formula, so we're getting a pro rata distribution of those funds. But they are specifically, just like like most of our grants, supplement, not supplant, meaning that we cannot offset general fund expenses with those. It's got to be some kind of new supplemental service.
So even though we may have dedicated general fund money to something that might fall in that category, we cannot use this grant to pay for that?
If it's supplement.
But this is being portrayed to us as a increase in revenue. And if it's not supplanting something that's already in the budget.
Well, that's why we delineated it separately, to clearly separate it from those that middle column.
All right.
Because they are going to be expended correctly according to the guidelines of that grant. But since they're in our QB revenue, we wanted to increase the revenue of our budget to account for those anticipated revenues that they are already providing to us.
So I guess the question I'm asking, is it revenue to the system where in fact we're going to spend it paying for something
Yes.
as opposed to offsetting.
Yes, we're going to pay for something outside of our normal general fund budget, but we have to account for it inside of this budget.
Okay.
A good example is the security grants they gave us a couple years ago, where they flowed that money through. They made us report on it as a grant one year. Now they've given it to us more permanently, but we still have to spend that money on security items based on those guidelines. But it is part of our general fund.
Those two grants are part of our QBE allotment. The allotment sheets that we get in, they're categorical grants. So it's increasing our total QBE where we were 156, we're at 157 million. So it increased our bottom line. We get 1/10 of that every month. So we get the 280,000, we get $28,000 per month as part of the QBE allotment. So we get like 13 million a month.
But
So
it
does
has-
that increase our fund balance or not, or is it a wash?
It's a wash, because we have to expend that money within a certain period of time as well. It's conditional.
Okay, so please understand it's portrayed as an increased revenue, when in fact what it is ultimately is a transaction that it's a temporary increase. I mean, we're being paid for something we're going to spend. That's what I'm getting at. I mean, please understand, I'm not an accountant. I stayed away from math as much as possible, but that's been the hard part for me about this, is delineating the nature of the problem we're dealing with.
But
And-
Mr. Morton, from our standpoint, we have to add it into our budget because we are getting that allotment every month. So
Well, I
that's why
understand, but
we're-
I don't want it to be, as I understand it, this is not having an impact on our fund balance one way or another. Oh,
That's
Okay.
correct, yes, sir.
thank you, thank you. Can we give any detail on what this $1.275 million in identified cost reductions is? We've got pretty good detail about everything else. Can I get some information about it? About what it is?
You're going to provide some?
Yeah, that's still forthcoming. We're at the table working that out. I'd much rather give you a detailed answer than pieces. So please give us time on the side to work that out, and we'll give you details.
Okay, but please understand, we're being told that this is going to be an addition to our fund balance, but we don't know what it is, or can't tell us what it is. So pardon me if I'm a little uncomfortable with that. And let me just kind of give you my mental process on this. This has been very troubling to me. Quite frankly, I've been on the board 11 years, and I have gotten spoiled by y'all. Y'all do an excellent job. And what it has freed this board to do is really focus on what changes are we looking at. What, not only what we're looking to want to spend, but revenue changes, whether it be federal government, state, whatever. And so when I first started looking at this, I got really, one thing that upset me is that I perceived initially, this is simply, we spent beyond what we had budgeted. People just, controls weren't in place. And really, the bulk of this was money we were going to have to spend anyway. We just failed to budget appropriately for it. So my knee-jerk reaction when I first looked at this, well, I'm not going to vote for it because we just got out of control. But then again, if I don't vote for it, this is stuff that we're going to spend anyway, that we should have included in our budget. And who knows how that could have impacted the board's consideration of all sorts of things back when we were coming up with this budget. And as you well know, Mr. Bush, you have been sounding the alarm for a long time now. We are facing tougher and tougher budget issues. And so to make those really tough decisions, it is important that this board be able to rely on the information we're given.
Absolutely.
Okay. I know you know that.
Yep.
I'm echoing what people are saying to me because, and unfortunately, this is all happening while the shadow of Dublin City Schools is hanging over us, where really it is largely apples and oranges. We have a strong auditing process. We have always gone above and beyond, which will help us catch problems. This is a series of omissions that have caused us now to look at some things we have to do. And we're about to start that budget process. I know y'all are looking at that as well. And we're going to, I can only speak for myself, but as a member of the board, I'm going to need y'all to step up and help us feel comfortable that the numbers we're going to get are things we can rely upon when we're making some really hard choices moving forward. That being said, I'm going to vote for this. I do have some reservations, but I cannot in good conscience not vote to pay people for the work that they're doing, for the money that they've earned, that we're being faced with this largely because there were some mistakes made. All right. Thank you.
Dr. Ficklin?
Madam Chairperson, in light of what the superintendent has said, they're still working on some stuff to go into this amendment. I would like to propose that the board consider tabling this until we get all the information. And I so move.
To the table.
Table until we
Get the.
Until we get all the
regarding
information.
Revenue, the 1.275. I'm sorry.
You second
My
it?
bad.
Are you seconding?
Is there a second? Okay. Dr. Woodford?
So then, if we table it, it will come back to us.
Next, when we get all the information. He said if we don't have all the information, they still working on stuff. Now you're gonna vote on something that they're still working on?
Mr. Freeman?
Based on Mr. Morton's questions, I've got a couple of thoughts. One of which is there's one line item in this budget amendment, the 1.275 million, which we don't have enough information about. You gave us an example during the workshop of very similar to a question that Dr. Ficklin had asked. If we have budgeted $1 million for something and by the middle of the year we haven't spent $500,000, there's a probably good estimate that we're not going to spend a full million in the full year. Is kind of how I summarized what you said. That's not what you said, but putting those two together, that's what I kind of got out of it. Is that the type of thing that we're talking about when we talk about reductions in these various programs? Or are we talking about there's this software we use on the budget that we're not actually using, so we're going to take that out? What best characterizes
It's a combination of things that, that there has been. So one, we're pulling back on where we're going to expect to spend. So we are trying to save the district money and are actively cutting expenses. And that is part of the effort to show the board, the public, that, hey, we're probably not going to spend these. Let's pull these off of the budget anyway so we don't spend them. Second, it's a combination of things that maybe things don't get spent in every year's budget. In the past, there's been a $9 million budget adjustment and of the things we didn't spend. And as, like Mr. Morton said, we've talked at length about where addresses we're going to have to make to this budget, right? So our effort in the last couple of years has to really true up the budget so we're not having these large fund balance differences. So that's why this year we estimated a ending fund balance of $48 million, and I was $1.57 million off of that mark. When I tighten up these budgets and we estimate on what is truly going to happen, it gives us better tools to plan for the future. So this 1.275 million is an extra effort that could be a combination of supplies. It could be a combination of things we're not going to expend and we've already identified. There's been talks about reducing the summer school load. Those are cost savings that we can identify, and I felt comfortable with this $1.275 million reduction. So we can go back to the administration and say, your budgets are cut by this. This is where they land. We can't spend this money. So it is a full faith effort, and I hope to continue to not spend. I hope to continue to drop this. That is our intention. To remedy this and put us in a better financial situation at the end of this fiscal year.
With that in mind, I applaud your efforts. I certainly want us not to spend 1.275 million that we don't have to spend.
Right.
At the same time, it's intended to show the public, look what we're doing to tighten our belts, but we have nothing to show the public. Other than there's this number we've identified, and we can't tell you what it is. So I guess my question, we know there's going to be future budget amendments because, as mentioned with the grant money, that's listed as a revenue. There's going to be an expense stream that flows from that in the future.
Well, we're reporting the expense now because it's anticipated. So that's why it's an offsetting line.
So it's showing up in the expense column and the revenue column.
Yes, sir. It's completely neutral.
Okay. I guess my question is, can we pass the budget amendment amended
Without that amount?
without that line item of 1.275 million? Can we get the information and then have a budget amendment next month with that and any other things we may have identified at that point? Would that really mess things up?
No, sir. We're going to account for that.
Then if that's the case, hopefully to address your concern, Dr. Ficklin, and mine as well, I would make a motion to amend this proposal to remove the 1.275 million.
I know we have a motion on the table.
Hasn't been seconded. No.
It hadn't been announced as dead because of lack of second either.
Based on the questions I've asked, I would like to propose a motion to amend that we remove that last line item of 1.275 million in reduced expenses until such time as we can have more information on it. And then bring it back to us.
Your motion would be a substitute motion to my motion, and I would accept a substitute motion, but not an overriding motion to the motion that's already on the floor that hadn't been declared dead for lack of second.
In that case, I humbly ask that I substitute a motion to amend for your motion.
It seems
to
like
table.
it's going to get more votes than mine is going to get, but I can't see how we can vote for something when there are questions out there floating around. And one thing you said, is that going to make a difference? The bridge is not going to fall if we wait until we get all the answers. And the superintendent just said that we're still working on that. Why would we want the public to think we are being responsible when we vote on something that we don't have answers to? That's my question. And what you are proposing is a good kind of fix, but we still are voting on something we don't have answers to. And of course, there are some other things in here in the background, and I don't know what, and that was one of my questions. I wanted to find out, are these figures, this 1, 2, 3, and 4, are these sums of money that identify to cover the 5.5 or the 7.4 or the 8.8 or whatever it is that we are looking at? Because if your amendment is saying that we go ahead and vote for this and let $1.8 million grant fund that they say we hadn't spent, that is for children in poverty and suffering with mental health, and we're going to vote that to take care of this right here, and we hadn't done anything with that money, then I would never vote for that, because that's money that's to help children. And I don't see how anybody could say that we're here for children and take that money and do something else other than what it was given to us for.
We can't do that, and we're not doing that. My dad was a CPA, so I know about this much about accounting, enough to be dangerous. But the question I asked of Mr. Bush was, we have money that's going to come in the form of a grant, therefore it goes in a revenue column. That money is going to have to be spent on the things specifically listed in that grant. That's going to be in the expense column. Is that what is being proposed? And the answer I got was yes. It's not saying we're taking 1.8 million to be spent on this thing and we're spending it on something that we're not supposed
Well,
to.
why are we identifying it as a revenue then?
It's a revenue coming in. We're getting that money from the state in our
coming
QBE.
in, but it's a specified revenue for a specified purpose, and so we can't use that money to balance out what has not been put in the budget to start with. We have to find some other money to identify some other money to do that with. I mean, I've heard, and if your dad was, you said, CPA, my dad was a custodian, but he still fed us every day. And it don't take being a CPA to know how to handle money. There's a
Nobody's
such thing
spending-
called robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Nobody's
that's what this
spending that
looks like.
grant where it can't be spent, Dr. Ficklin.
Madam Chair,
How can it not be
there was
spent?
no second and there was no call for a discussion. So I don't know why we are discussing
I
and there was no
apologize. I'm
call
just-
for a discussion.
Second.
There was no second.
Second.
May I restate my request?
We have a second now, so let's follow the process.
Was
Or what are you
What are you
seconding? I guess.
She seconded the
Second his
table.
motion.
Okay.
Dr. Ficklen's motion.
the motion to table or the substitute motion?
The table.
Okay.
Technically, if we're gonna be. Substitute information. Think we should, forgive me, you gotta have something a little bit more detailed about the success of my parliamentary procedure on substitute or something if it's not yet dead. But I believe the last motion in front of me was the motion to amend. So I would suggest that we either, has not yet seconded.
It has not.
Second.
And it is a substitute
Now that-
motion, it's not a motion.
Ms. Hanlon has second.
And a substitute motion has to be agreed upon by the person who made the main motion, and I don't agree with that.
I still made a motion.
I'm not prepared to talk to y'all about the difference in substitute motions, please forgive me. The Robert's rules of order, this is a tool, not a legal requirement. I want you to be clear on everything. We had a motion on the table and we had a motion for our amendment. Given all that, Cynthia went first, and we agree to vote on the motion to table.
If it'll make it easier, I'll withdraw my motion to amend until we get a chance to vote on your motion to table.
That will be acceptable to me if you withdraw it, because that's following Robert Rules of Order. And remember, last January, when I was first here, we had a very big discrepancy about Robert Rules of Order. And I'm glad, that's why I like you, because you came down on the right side.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Dr.
If I
Sims.
may make a comment, so first of all, the $1.27 million is a solid numerical number. It is a solid number. The grant money is solid as well. We intend to, as we move forward with the rest of this year in the summer, provide high-quality experiences for our students to include a robust summer school experience that covers our needs. And as we look at the grant, and as we look at the needs of our students from that perspective, that $1.275 million is somewhat tied to that, in that we are in the process of finalizing how those monies will be spent on the grant end. And as we received the grant, we saw opportunities for increased savings on this side, hence the 1.275 million. And I want to be clear as it relates to me wanting to make sure you have clear information. And I want to dial back, and I always have to do this as a superintendent. I want to dial back to when the summer school discussion got out to the public. Next thing you know, people were saying we're not doing summer school. And I had to manage that. The budget memo that we just sent out got out to the public, and it went haywire, and I had to manage that. So it's important that the next time I give you information that is still being cooked, and when I say cooked, I mean details that the public can understand. We understand it on the inside. We want to make sure it's such that the public understands it and doesn't run away again with a narrative that is not accurate. So while I know I'm sitting here asking you to give me a moment to give you the details, I'm asking you to give me a moment on savings and not some deficit trying to explain to you. But it's with that in mind. I do not need the public running again thinking that we are pulling something away from our beloved students. And it's important that we have the appropriate time to make sure that whatever we give is clarity. And we would just want to make sure we give clarity on that space. Now, so I want to make sure that's,
Point of,
I want to make sure I make that clear, because if that's the one thing we're getting hung up on, I just want to provide those clarifying points. I don't know if that gives you enough information or not, but I think it's important that I give you.
it doesn't. Point of information. Did you just say, Doctor, that we are going to have summer school?
Yes.
Okay.
And what we need to make sure we're careful to do.
At the last meeting, the thought was that we were not going to have it. And I hadn't heard anything after that. In fact, at the last meeting, at the end of the meeting, I said I want to be on record as being opposed to not having summer school. And of course, they didn't include that in the minutes. And maybe that's the reason why. And I think that in order to be transparent with the media and the public, if you would give what's going on with clarity, you wouldn't have to have all this back and forth.
Yes, sir.
They need to know.
Yeah.
I don't want to operate in a situation where there is some kind of clandestine things going on that I can't say this or that about them. I need to know what's going on. I am a member of this Board of Education. The people elected me. And I don't need to be guessing or second guessing anything that's going on. It's just a part of being an elected member of a body. And we don't need to not know, we need to know.
100% agreed. And that's even further reason why I want to make sure that when I give you information, you have the details that you need. But what we gave you is what we know. And we know for a fact $1.275 million. So just want to offer that up, and I'll yield to the board.
Mr. Morton.
Dr. Sims, I know you've gotten a lot of heat over this, but it's important to remember this is your budget, and it is funded by the public. And we are ultimately responsible to the public. And so the questions we ask are not to cause problems, but to try to answer the questions that the public would ask, to make sure that the money they entrust to us is used wisely and produces the best outcomes for our students. And I appreciate that you have put information out there to address those concerns. It's absolutely the right thing to do. Having that work session today was invaluable. It helped me understand this situation better. But I know sometimes things get tough. They do. But I appreciate you stepping up and putting the information out there so we can answer the questions, because we're on the cusp of another budget process where we're going to have to make some really difficult choices. And it is incredibly important that the public trust the information that we're going to be presenting when we make those budget decisions. So, I mean, it's difficult. Let's embrace the opportunity to show the public that we're doing everything we possibly can to make sure that we're doing right by them.
I would call the question of the motion.
All those in favor of the motion to table, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
Nay.
Nay. That looks like.
3 to 4.
All right, that passes 4-3.
I think it failed.
Okay, 3, that fails 3-4. Okay.
Madam Chairman,
Mr. Freeman.
may I make a motion to amend the proposal to remove the 1.275 million in project reductions or identified district expenses, I think is the language that's used, from this proposal, so that it can be clarified and brought to us in the future.
Is there a second? All right, there's a motion and a second to remove the 1.275 million from the proposed budget amendment. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Johnson?
If we vote for that, how will it affect this budget? If we vote what, Freeman said?
Yeah, if I'm correct, I want to get clarity. That just means that we will bring back in February another budget adjustment reflective of the 1.275 million with the details.
That's what I anticipate.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
I mean, shouldn't say that's fine. I'm not going to. Sorry.
Thank you for the clarification.
Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of the amended motion, please state by saying
In favor
aye.
of the amendment.
In favor of the amendment, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
Abstain. Okay. Don't have a reading list.
One abstention.
All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 ayes and 2 noes and an abstention. Is that correct? All right. Dr. Woodford, the amendment passes.
I call the question on the
On the original,
resolution as amended.
okay. All right, on the motion as amended, is there, let's see, do we have a second?
We already had that one started.
Okay. Questions on the motion as amended? All right, Dr. Ficklin.
I'd like to propose a substitute amendment to the adjustment number 1. And the substitute is to get all the $3 billion from the Chrome, for the Chrome notebooks from the SPOS, and identify how much money is still left in the $5 million that we put into HR for substitute teachers, how much of that is still left, and use that as the balancing of these positions that were not, and this other stuff that's in here that was not put into the budget. I think that is a more credible way of looking at a budget, using funds that you already have. And and a third thing would be to all of the unfilled positions for the first half of the year, what that amount is, and add that in, rather than adding these things in and saying that we're putting that money aside when that money is specifically given to us in a grant to help students who are in poverty and suffering with mental kind of conditions. Now, I do have some other questions about the $415,000 that's already in the budget. And of course, the $3,853,000 that's already in the budget. I don't see how you can use money that was already in the budget to justify it as being a basis for filling the positions that were not and paying off things that are over the budget. That just doesn't make any sense to me because these things were already in the budget. But that is my motion, that they identify those 3 pots of money, the Chrome notebook, the rest of that, let it come out of East Splash, find out how much is still left from the $5 million that we put in HR, and the money that the vacancies have created for the first half of the year.
Question. For Mr. Bush.
Yeah.
All right, this is a substitute motion.
The motion is already.
Yeah, to be clear, it would just be a
be a new
new
amendment.
Okay.
motion.
Okay,
for an
so
amendment.
do we need to, all right, let's continue the discussion.
Well, you haven't had a second yet on that?
Did we get a second on? That's what you asked.
Right, I have not heard a second.
I thought Dr. Wolford
Did you
seconded.
second that?
I had a question
Oh, okay.
for Mr. Bush.
Okay.
So, Mr. Bush, are we expecting any, or how are we bracing for any mid-year cuts from that big, beautiful bill?
I'm not specifically understanding
Are we
what number you have.
Are we expecting any cuts?
Not that I'm aware of this moment. No, ma'am.
Ms. Johnson?
In preparing for the consent agenda, I'm all mixed up with all these motions on the floor. Now, I need to know, did FSS2 pass by 4-3?
It has not.
No, we hadn't voted.
We have not voted on it yet.
So what did we voted on?
We
the
have a
amendment?
motion on the table as amended, which we have not yet voted on, and we are in discussion on that motion.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Oh,
Is there a second to Dr. Ficklen's amendment?
I thought you seconded.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
All right.
So the motion from Dr. Ficklin is what?
Is that
He
we,
requested a substitute motion.
is that we look at other streams of revenue
Oh,
to be
Second.
identified rather than using the money from the grant that was given for poor children and children suffering with mental conditions.
It's not used for that purpose.
That's what you got on this paper.
No, it's not, sir.
Yes, you
No,
want
it's
me to
not.
read it to you?
We are accounting for the revenue that the state has provided us already, and we are accounting for the expenses that we will spend for those identified purposes that the state says we have to spend that money for. It is not going
Why
against.
is it on here then?
It has to be. It has to be because it's a general funded item. That's one of our regulations. We have to account for that money.
I understand. Okay. But they got it down here. And
But you see the offsetting expenses, so that's a neutral column. There is, those dollars are made to be expended for that specific identified
the most
person.
egregious thing is that we are halfway through the year and none of the money has been spent. And we got more poor children in this community and in this school system than anywhere else, and kids suffering with mental condition, and we ain't spent none of the money yet.
Yeah, I just want to clarify in
Yeah.
those areas, those aren't empty buckets even now. This actually helps us to extend what we're already doing. So I need the public to know that we are already in those spaces working vigorously. This grant gives us additional opportunity and will extend our efforts. So please don't think that we're in a space where we're waiting for mental health service or anything related to that. That is not and never will be the case.
All right, was there a second to that motion? If not, all right. So are we now? All right.
Can you restate what the amendment is specifically? I'm not clear.
To identify additional monies from East Plus to take care of the Chrome notebook, rather than the one point whatever it was, $2-some million, $1.256 million. Get the whole $3 million out of East Plus, and then identify those positions that are unfilled, how much money is that, and then how much is still left from the $5 million that we put in HR for substitute teachers, how much is left there. Then that would give us some additional revenue to take care of the expenditures that were not in the budget.
I have a question.
Yes, Mr. Freeman.
Mr. Bush, there was some explanation in the December 19th memo regarding the $3 million originally budgeted for Chrome and how that fell. Can you explain that? I want to clarify.
I don't have
Is
that
there a
page
problem
right-
with that money not being spent?
Yeah, I don't have that page right in front of me, but what happened to that is we funded that half through the SPOS, half through general fund last year. So that was a $1.74 million expense to the general fund. We budgeted $3 million for next year because the SPOS had not passed yet, and we had to account for that whole expenditure in general fund for the 2026 year. Well, those Chromebooks didn't come in until July, so that expense is actually moving to the 2026 year. So that increased our fund balance, ending fund balance for 2025 because we didn't expend that money But now I have to pay that bill in 2026, and that's where that 3 million minus the 1.7 is the 1.26 million dollars that we only have available now. So that $3 million got used, it's just split between the 2 years. It increased our fund balance for 25, and I'm increasing expenses over here in 26 to account for that same dollar.
So
So it's a wash. It's not available to be used.
I just want to be clear, in layman's terms, that $3 million for Chromebook was paid for by the East Blast across 2 years.
It will in the future.
In the future.
In the future, yes.
Yeah,
We don't
so-
need that $3 million in the general fund anymore. But because of the way it accounted for in the years, we had to move it.
And that is understood.
Yes, sir.
But what I'm saying is, get all of it from the East Block.
It will be from now on, but in last year,
From now
it
on.
couldn't be. In that first year, it wasn't available.
If we are having this problem now with the general fund budget, and you, all this stuff has been missed and what have you, I don't see there being a problem with going ahead and getting the money from the East Block for what you need to go forward and leave that money in the general fund so it can be used for some of the things that were not put in the budget to start.
And that's what we presented here. That's what's being presented today.
That's what you said it's doing that, right?
Yes, sir. That $3 million is accounted for in this budget amendment. It's just because they landed and we received them in July, we had to record that expense in July instead of June. So we didn't have that expenditure on the 25 books. It's on the 26 books now.
I
So-
understand that the budget years are different, but.
So it is a complicated transaction, but it is that $3 million is accounted for in here wholly. Now, the Kelly issue is another thing. I don't know, Tina wants to talk about Kelly service.
Oh, it's a total of $5 million for the contract to Kelly Services, but the entire $5 million is not all in general funds. Some portions of it is in Title I, Title II, it's other grants because the substitutes are designated for the funding source that they are funded by. So I think it's 2.5 or 3 million that is in general fund, but not the entire 5 million.
And that expense
That's
is,
why I said a long time ago, I need to see a line item budget. Because when we come to these kind of junctures and situations, and now you come up and explain all of that, if I had a line item budget like I asked for to begin with, I would know those things. Because I still think that $5 million in substitute teacher pay is too much.
Are there any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of the amended motion state by saying aye.
Amendment to the motion.
The amendment to the motion state by saying aye.
Aye. Forgive me. Are you,
Uh,
I don't know
We're
that
voting
y'all are
on
clear.
Dr. Ficklin's,
Okay, everybody
Yeah.
clear?
Dr. Ficklin's amendment.
okay, we're voting on Dr. Ficklin's amendment. All those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
Nay.
Okay.
All right, how many, raise your hands, how many nays? Oh, all right, that fails 2 to 5. Now, moving back to the previous amended motion, all those in favor of amending the motion, amending the original motion by taking the 1.275
We already
million
voted on
out,
that.
yes,
We already voted on that, so we need a vote on the.
okay,
final
on the amended
as
motion, right,
amended.
okay. So all those in favor of the amended motion state by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay.
No.
All right. How many ayes? How many nays? All right. The motion fails.
No,
That was the
what-
vote on the
That was
budget
the vote on the budget.
Okay, the budget
amendment.
amendment
thing.
fails. The amended budget amendment fails. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, all right.
Does everyone understand that's what we were voting on?
Now let's get back to FSS 2.
That's what
That
we
was
just voted on.
FSS2. It failed.
May I ask for a clarification of what we were voting on and a roll call vote?
We've already voted. You can't
Okay.
Go back and do that.
I think there's disclarity on what everybody voted on. Can-
The vote has been taken. Attorney?
Okay, yeah, attorney, please.
I'm gonna, Dr. Ficklin, at risk of having you not be in my favor anymore, I'm gonna have to say, if there was misunderstanding and the vote that was just taken, it is appropriate to retake the vote.
Well, I'm not gonna get you out of my favor because I think that you have enough integrity to do what is right. But I want to reflect back on something. When I had to leave and a vote was taken, and I came back, the vote wouldn't be taken again. So be consistent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So just to maybe try to help contain a little order here, why don't we restate the amended motion, what it is, which is the motion for a budget, to approve the budget amendment as amended with Mr. Freeman's, well, now I'm messing it up,
I
y'all.
object to that.
What? You,
I object.
okay.
If Congress take a vote and, the vote is the vote. They don't go back and vote over because somebody didn't understand what was going on.
Mr. Freeman.
I called for a roll call vote. I can do that.
Not after the vote has been taken.
I can for clarification.
The vote has been taken. I know you're good at making up Robert rules and order, but, that's not in it.
So I will go ahead and say this. As your legal counsel, if the board did not understand what they were voting on, I would advise that you retake the vote with clarity.
Mr. Freeman.
For clarification, my understanding is we are voting on FSS2 as presented with an amendment to remove $1.275 million in reduction across various programs. So this would be the vote on FSS2 as presented with that amendment already included. We are voting to pass or not pass budget amendment number 1, FSS2, as amended already.
Mr. Secretary, could you please take a roll call vote?
Yes, and for what it's worth, I want to reiterate the question that was asked in terms of what that would mean. What that would mean is that we will come back in February with the details needed for an additional budget adjustment on the 1.275 million. Okay. Board Member Garrett Boyd. Board Member Freeman.
Yes.
Board Member Woodford.
No.
Board Member Morton.
No.
Board Member Johnson.
Yeah.
Board Member Hanlon.
Yes.
Board Member Ficklin. That passes 4-3.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bush, and thank you for all of your work. All right, the next item, number FSS3, is general contractor services for canopy upgrades at Southfield, Ballard Hudson, and L.H. Williams. Mr. Sam Kitchens.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, President Johnson, board members, and Superintendent Dr. Sims. This memorandum requests approval for a firm to provide general contractor services for the installation and extension of canopies at Southfield Elementary, Ballard Hudson, and L.H. Williams Elementary School. The RFP was released on September 24th. We had 7 companies present to receive the information. 3 of those companies submitted proposals, and they were all reviewed based on the criteria set out in the RFP. As recommended, Bibb County Board of Education authorized superintendent to enter into a contract and issue a purchase order in an amount of $352,930 with Renfro Construction Company, Macon, Georgia, to provide general contractor services for upgrades to canopies at Southfield Elementary, Ballard Hudson Middle, L.H. Williams Elementary, and these funds will be paid out of 2021 East Blossom.
Second.
Hearing none, all those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion carries and will be sent to the consent agenda. Number FSS4, RFP 06021 for general contractor services for permanent stages at Ballard Hudson, Skyview, and Southfield Elementary Schools.
Yes, ma'am. This memorandum requests approval for the firm to provide general contractor services to construct permanent stages at Ballard Hudson Middle, Skyview Elementary, and Southfield Elementary. RFP was released on September 24th as well. 5 companies present to receive the information. 3 of those companies submitted proposals, and those 3 were reviewed based on the criteria in the RFP. And it's recommended the Bibb County Board of Education authorize the superintendent to enter into a contract and purchase order in the amount of $192,105 with Ogles Construction Incorporated out of Lozella to provide general contractor services for the furnish and install permanent stages at Ballard Hudson Middle School, Skyview Elementary, and Southfield Elementary. These funds will also be paid out of 2021 East Boston.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Dr. Vickland, seconded by Dr. Woodford. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion carries and will be sent to the consent agenda. The next item, number FSS5, is for furniture at Vineville Academy.
Thank you again. As part of the 2021 East Boston Board approved the renovation of Vineville Academy Elementary School. This memo recommends a state-approved vendor for the purchase and installation of classroom, cafeteria, administration, and media center furniture. The items listed on the quote have been reviewed and approved by capital programs, school administrators, and staff. And it's recommended the Board of Education approve the superintendent to issue a purchase order to Advent Business Interiors in the amount of $640,825, utilizing pricing from statewide contracts to purchase replacement furniture for Vineville Academy Elementary School. This project will be funded by 2021 East Boston.
Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Johnson, and seconded by Dr. Garrett Boyd. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda. The next item, number FSS6, is for new furniture for Burdell Hunt Elementary School.
Thank you. As part of 2021 East Boston, the board approved renovations to Burdell Hunt Elementary School. The memo recommends a state-approved vendor for the purchase and installation of classroom, cafeteria, administration, and media center furniture. These items listed on the attached quote have also been reviewed and approved by capital program, school administration, and staff. And it's recommended the Board of Education approve the superintendent to issue a purchase order to Ernie Morris Enterprises in the amount of $549,419.51, utilizing pricing from TIPS contract for furniture replacement at Burdell Hunt Elementary School. This project will also be funded by 2021 East Boston.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Dr. Woodford, seconded by Mrs. Johnson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda. The next item, number FSS7, is a consultant for roofing and energy enhancement.
Thank you. This memorandum requests approval for a firm to provide roofing consulting services for the renovation of roofs at Heritage Elementary, Skyview Elementary, Howard High School, Howard Middle School, and Rutland High Schools. America's Consulting is an approved vendor with the district. They've consistently managed district's roofing needs, and they'll provide project documentation, technical specifications, and drawings required for the projects. Their fees are a percentage of the construction cost. So once the construction is bid out, we will have exact dollars that we'll bring back for approval. And it's recommended the Board of Education authorize the superintendent to issue a purchase order to Merit Consulting from Byron, Georgia, consulting services related to roof repairs at Heritage Elementary, Skyview Elementary, Howard High School, Howard Middle School, and Rutland High School. This project will be funded out of 2021 East Boston.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Freeman, seconded by Mrs. Johnson. Is there any discussion? I just had one clarification that Rutland Middle is also included in this, if you read through the,
Okay, in the back of it, I'm sorry, yes.
so,
So it's Rutland Middle and Rutland High and Howard Middle and Howard High.
right.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions, comments, discussion? Yeah,
I move that the recommendation be amended to include Rutland Middle.
Second.
all right. All those in favor of the amendment state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion is amended. All those in favor of the amended motion,
No, excuse me. I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the motion as amended. Is that how you're supposed to say that?
Oh, man.
I think you're okay. You guys have just amended
Right.
the motion. She's now calling the question on the.
Okay, fine. All right.
okay.
Good try.
All those in favor of the amended motion state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion carries and will be sent to the consent agenda. The next item, number FSS 8, is the general contractor for auditorium upgrades at Central, Southwest, and Howard High Schools.
Thank you again. This memorandum requests approval for a firm to provide general contractor services for the auditorium upgrades at Central, Southwest, and Howard High Schools. If you remember, on December 18th, Plumb Line Construction Company was approved as the vendor for this project. However, they have since withdrawn their proposal. Sheridan Construction was the second-ranked vendor in that process, and Capital Programs requesting to award the project to Sheridan Construction, as they were also willing to negotiate their contract for a reduction of $10,000 to their original bid. So it is recommended the Bibb County Board of Education authorize the superintendent to enter into contract and purchase order in the amount of $915,945 to Sheridan Construction for auditorium upgrade services at Central, Southwest, and Howard High Schools. These funds will be paid out of 2021 East Boston.
So moved.
Moved by Dr. Ficklin, second by Dr. Garrett Boyd. All those in favor of the motion state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda. Thank you, sir, very much. The next item, number FSS 9, will be presented by Mr. Kevin Adams, student headsets.
Good evening, Dr. Johnson, or excuse me, Ms. Johnson, and board members and Superintendent Dr. Sims. The Office of Technology Services is seeking board approval to purchase student headsets from 525 Technologies. This purchase will provide our students with the needed technology to support both current instructional needs and future assessment demands. It is recommended the Bibb County Board of Education authorize the purchase order to 525 Technologies for student headsets in the amount not to exceed $365,000. The funding source is 2021 East Boston.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Ficklin, second by Mr. Freeman. Is there any discussion? Mr. Morton.
How long will these headsets last?
They have a 2-year warranty. How long they last will depend on how well they're taken care of.
So
Mr. Freeman.
Does that mean we would expect to have to replace them in 2 years?
We will have to replace some each year based on, similar to, if I go back to my teaching days, calculators. Students would be issued calculators. Some will make it, some will not.
All right. The calculators are more expensive, but that's okay. Thank you.
Mr. Freeman.
I talked to my resident media specialist who told me I better approve this. They're needed.
She speaks with wisdom.
She speaks with wisdom.
I heard from, yes, I've heard from folks that say that, yes, they're very much needed, and hopefully they will be distributed as soon as possible.
They will.
Is there any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda. Number FS10 is next. Dr. Washington for the advanced manufacturing equipment.
Good afternoon, President Johnson, Superintendent Sims, and members of the board. The Career Technical and Agricultural CTAE Department will introduce an additional CTAE pathway at the Innovation and Technology Academy, aligned with advanced manufacturing industries within the Macon-Bibb County community. This expansion will ensure that students graduate equipped with employability skills that directly meet the advanced manufacturing workforce need for our local community. It is recommended the Board of Education approve a purchase order for Southern Education Systems in the amount of $1,836,289.65 for the advanced manufacturing equipment. The funding source is 2021 eSPLOST.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Ficklin, second by Dr. Woodford. Are there any questions? Yes, Dr. Ficklin.
Dr. Watson,
Yes, sir. Good evening.
does this equipment and this new pathway include a teacher, not from the SPLOST money, but there is a teacher that's going to be teaching this manufacturing systems to the students?
That will be a part of our allotment sheet that will be given to us. Yes, sir, for
And
staffing.
that's coming up for the 27th budget.
The 26-27 school
26,
year.
27, but they usually just use the last number, 27, okay?
Yes, sir.
And so you would have that, is there anybody else that needs aid or anybody else in there?
No, sir. That's the only allotment for
I
an
just wanted
instructor.
to know, because I know that you always make sure you have everything you need, and I didn't want them to come back 6 months later and say they didn't include the person that goes with this equipment.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Is there any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
Thank you.
The motion carries unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda. That concludes the business of the Fiscal Support Services Committee. Items number FSS 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Is it 3 through 10 passed unanimously, or is there, no, there was.
3 through 10.
3 through 10.
Okay, 3 through 10 passed unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda. That concludes the business of the FSS committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. At this time, we'll hear from Policies and Rules Committee. Dr. Sandra Wolford, Chair. Dr. Wolford.
Thank you, Madam President. The Policy and Rules Committee has 4 action items this evening and 1 item for information. Attorney Sherry Colvis will lead us in that deliberation.
Good afternoon, President Johnson, board members, and Superintendent Dr. Sims. Item PR1 is policy IHA grading systems. There have been no changes to policy IHA since the first reading, and it is recommended that the Bibb County Board of Education approve revisions to policy IHA grading systems.
I have a motion by Dr. Ficklin, second by Ms. Hanlon. Questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries and will be sent to the consent agenda.
Item PR2 is policy IFBGA, electronic communications. Likewise, there have been no changes to policy IFBGA, and it is recommended that the Board of Education approve revisions to this policy.
Board members, you've heard the recommendation. The
So
motion
moved.
to approve.
So moved.
The first, motion made by Mr. Freeman, seconded by Ms. Hanlon. Question?
Yes, I have one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen this particular policy. You know, it didn't come up last year, but something stood out to me on this policy. It says, although the Social Media Act permits districts to allow exceptions for instructional use under teacher supervision, the administration has recommended implementing a comprehensive prohibition without exceptions. Now, that stands out to me because I don't think that a teacher's hands should be tied in what they want to do with students in the classroom. They are going to go to the administration and get permission to do what they are going to do. But for them to hinder academic academic freedom is something that's way out in left field as far as I'm concerned. And I can't vote for a teacher's hand to be tied like this. And even though that's been the policy, I think that sometimes we need to look at these policies and make sure that we are doing the best that we can. We have a lot of young new teachers, and hopefully we'll get some more who are very familiar with various types of technology and who want to use it in their classrooms to do certain things with it. And I don't think their hands should be tied. That's where I am on this.
Thank you. Other questions? We have a motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Excuse me. Those opposed, nay.
Nay.
We have 6 ayes and 1 nay.
Thank you. PR3 is policy JGF2, seclusion or restraint of students. There have been no changes to policy JGF2 since first reading, and it is recommended that the Board of Education approve revisions to this policy.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Hanlon, a second. Who was the second? Did I hear a second? Oh, okay. And we have a second, Mr. Freeman. Question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. There's a motion, is approved unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda.
Item PR4 is policy JGFG, student accidents. There have been no changes to policy JGFG since first reading, and it is recommended that the Board of Education approve revisions to this policy.
So move.
Motion by Ms. Johnson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Mark Morton. Okay. Question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously and will be sent to the consent agenda.
Item PR5, policy JBN, professional personnel termination, is before the board on first reading. The summary of the revisions here, ladies and gentlemen, are that in consultation with the Human Resources Department, we are recommending the revision of this policy in order to provide a definition of professional personnel that is consistent with law and state board rules, to confirm compliance with all federal, state, and local laws, and to clarify the differences between termination and non-renewal. The next steps will be that the district will post policy GBN, professional personnel termination, on Assembly to receive input from board members and stakeholders for 30 days. The policy will be brought to the next board meeting for second reading and final board adoption and approval. And that concludes the items of the committee.
Thank you, Mrs. Colfax. Madam President, that concludes the business of the Policy and Rules Committee.
Will you name the
I'm
consent
about to.
agenda, please?
PR1, PR3, and PR4. Move to this consent agenda.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Wolford.
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, we will have personnel services brought to us by Mr. James Freeman.
Thank you, Madam President. May I have a motion to go into executive session for the purposes of land, legal, personnel, student, school safety, and/or cybersecurity matters?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Woodford, second by Ms. Hanlon. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. That passes, and we are in executive session. Board members, if you would, please be sure to pick up PS 1 and 2 that were handed out.
Okay, may I have a motion to come out of executive session?
Second.
Motion by Dr. Wilson, second by Mr. Martin. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, please say no. Thank you. We're out of executive session. We will commence with personnel service by James Freeman.
Thank you, Madam President. Board members, may I have a motion to approve PS1 as presented? Motion by Dr. Woodford, second by Dr. Ficklin. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. That passes and will be sent to the consent agenda. Board members, may I have a motion to approve PS2 as presented?
Second.
Motion by Dr. Ficklin, seconded by by Ms. Hanlon. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That passes and will be sent to the consent agenda. Madam President, that concludes the business of the Personnel Services Committee. PS1 and PS2 will be sent to the consent agenda.
Thank you. Thank you. Please check for your information. FI 1, 2, 3, and 4. May I have a motion for this meeting to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motion by Mr. Freeman, second by Dr. Wolf. I think y'all together on that. Is there a discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned. We're going to go right into the board meeting. The time now is 6:36, and I'm calling this meeting to order. And I want to say that I appreciate you all for being here today. My last time serving as your president. But we'll get into that later on. So, I would like to entertain a motion at this time to approve the agenda.
So moved.
James, you gonna second?
Second.
I think we need to amend the agenda.
We do need to amend.
Madam President, so what, do I file since we just approved it?
You would make a motion to amend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to remove FSS2 as amended and PR2 from the consent agenda and move it to new business.
Yes.
Well, second by,
Yeah. And then we need to vote.
That,
on the amendment.
FSS2, that's the only one,
as amended and PR2.
PR2.
Yes, ma'am.
You heard the motion. Is there discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. The motion has been approved. We will move those items over to new business.
And Madam President, I make a motion that we approve the agenda as amended.
Is it? Okay. You've heard the motion to approve the agenda as amended. Is there discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, please say no. The agenda has been approved. At this time, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance by Avery Denny, first grade student at Hurd Elementary School. All right, Avery.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Maybe see. At this time, we will have an invocation by the Reverend Richard Robertson Jr. Pastor Robertson is the founder of the newly established Fresh Start Full Gospel Baptist Church in the Pleasant Hill neighborhood. Pastor Richard Robinson.
He's still taking pictures over there.
Oh, sorry. Pictures. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay. Now we will hear from Pastor Robinson.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you for this day that you put in front of us. We thank you for life, health, and strength on today. We thank you, oh God, for these individuals that fill this room on today, these hearts, God, that's under the sound of my voice, God. I pray, God, for these 8 hearts, to God, that's leading this school board, that's looking in the betterment for our children, God. I pray that you will lead them and guide them in the way that you will have them to go. God, we know, God, that we can't do nothing, God, without you. So, Lord, we invite you into this room. We invite you into this meeting. Take full control. God, we ask you right now, God, that everything, God, that has been said, everything that's been talked about, God, we know that you know all the ins and the outs. So, God, I pray that you will give peace, God, to these individuals, God, as they continue, God, to do the work of the babies, to do the work, God, that you called them, the purpose that you put inside of them. So, Lord, we thank you for the gifts, God, that's around this room. We ask you, God, that you continue to be with us as we continue, God, to support this city. God, we thank you for better days are coming. For we know that the best is still yet to come. So we thank you in advance. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen and amen.
Amen.
God bless you.
Thank you. Bless you too. At this time, we will hear the report of the superintendent. Dr. Sims.
Thank you, Madam President, and good evening to everybody. Before I begin my report, I do want to make a couple of quick comments. First of all, to Pastor, my brother, Robinson, one of the first church events that I attended was at his church. I want to congratulate you on your new ministry. I recall vividly meeting you on that day, and I knew you were a real one. And I'm honored to call you my brother. And thank you for the work that you do in the community. Also to my little guy, Avery Denny. Let me make sure y'all know who this is. This is not just the Pledge of Allegiance leader tonight. This is the winner of the 2025 Superintendent's Holiday Card Contest. Now, I'm going to bookend this presentation because y'all need to understand, I get in upwards of 100 Christmas cards, and I take it very seriously. I drape my office with all of the cards, and I just do circles. And I start putting cards on top of cards, and I narrow it all the way down from 100 down to 1. And a first grader was number 1. Yeah, so fantastic work. Super proud of you, buddy. And with that, here's my report. Each month during the board meeting, we present highlights happening within our schools and district. This month's artwork and your wonderful umbrellas are provided to you by Howard High School students and feature 3D small and light clay sculptures. Students were led by instructors Michael Gillies and Thomas Hayes, and the artwork reflects work from the past semester on animals and animal habitat. Some of the artwork was completed by the art club at Howard High School, and some of it is reflective of work from ceramics 1 and 2 courses at Howard. Board members, I am excited to share that you may take these pieces home with you this evening. Thank you to schools and departments throughout the district for bringing recognition and awareness to these events this month. Gifted Education Month and National Mentoring Month, as well as coming up this weekend, the annual commemoration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s service. Thank you to the Department of District Effectiveness and Federal Programs Grant Coordinator Violetta Hudson. Y'all, she stepped in with 25 minutes notice to sing at today's wreath laying ceremony and did a fantastic job of Lift Every Voice and Sing. So we are very grateful for that. Also, I do want to take a moment and wish all of the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated a happy Founders Day. It is today. Y'all can clap. Earlier this week, we celebrated also J13. So happy Founders Day as well to the lovely ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated as well. January is a busy month, and there were also celebrations of Founders Days from the men of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, as well as Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. And I mention those because these are all active fraternities actively engaged in service, not just in the United States of America, but in our school district. So we not only have employees, but the service is tremendous from these organizations. So I want to say thank you to all of them and happy Founders Day to each and every one. Bibb County school districts career, technical, and agricultural education students topped the state CTAE average with a 98.97% graduation rate. For the class of 2025, this marks the third year in a row that Bibb students having completed a career pathway have graduated at a rate of 98% or higher. For the class of 2025, all 7 district high schools had CTAE grad rates of 96% or higher, led by Howard High School, Southwest High School, and VIP Academy, with, get this, 100% graduation rates for CTAE students. If you haven't visited Compass Rose Cafe at W.S. Hutchings College and Career Academy, you are missing out. It is described by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution in an article out today as a rare gastro-instructional incubator. This is like a Michelin star restaurant with all the unusual, daring dishes, a guest said. Every dish is a discovery. We are so proud of the students, and I hear an amen to my left. We are so proud of the students and instructors who continue to do amazing work in this culinary arts pathway program. Bruce Elementary Principal Kizzy Lott gave a moving speech today about how the 100 black men of Macon, Middle Georgia have led with encouragement as they have supported students and staff at Bruce. The organization was one of several agencies to be recognized during today's announcement of the next round of MVP grants. The latest grant will support the Academy to Inspire Readers Air 100 initiative at Bruce to strengthen reading proficiency among early elementary students. It will use structured school-based literacy instruction to support students who are not yet reading at grade level. Campus Police Chief Curtis Adams, he's not here, but he was honored with the 2026 Diamond Award laureate for his dedicated contributions in the areas of justice and literary engagement. He was presented with the award by U.S. Representative Sanford Bishop during the 20th anniversary celebration of the Not Alone Foundation, alongside the 10th milestone anniversary of the Academy of the Diamond Awards this month, with Representative Bishop reflecting on the profound impact Chief Adams had through his exceptional legacy of service, courage, literary contributions, and transformative engagement with the community. The Bibb County School District, in partnership with First Choice Primary Care, is proud to announce the opening of its 3rd school-based health center. Located at L.H. Williams Elementary School, this latest expansion of school-based health care services was made possible through funding from Governor Brian Kemp and the Georgia Department of Education's Office of Whole Child Support, reinforcing the state's commitment to student health, well-being, and academic success. Bibb County School District launched its Grow Your Own Para-to-Teacher Apprenticeship program and celebrated the selection of 5 paraprofessionals for the spring cohort. This innovative apprenticeship pathway is designed to remove barriers to the teaching profession by allowing participants to earn their degree and teacher certification on the job while continuing to serve students. That is a fantastic thing, y'all, and we're going to continue to do our best to grow our own. Rutland High School FFA students helped with events this month at the Coliseum when the rodeo came to town. My students never cease to validate me, amaze me, and warm my heart. And when I got this picture, y'all, of our students holding the American flag amidst this crowd, I was just beaming with joy and pride at how they represent us and represent our community. So job well done, Rutland High School FFA. We were honored to welcome Olympian Jessica Ramsey to several schools this month. Her visit inspired students to dream big, work hard, and believe in themselves. She shared a powerful message of perseverance, discipline, and excellence that truly resonated with our students. The Macon Bibb County Emergency Management Agency is making it easy to stay prepared in 2026 by offering free emergency preparedness calendars filled with helpful safety tips. Students from multiple Bibb County schools participated in an art contest held in September, creating artwork that illustrates how people can stay safe before and during emergencies. Board members, you have been each provided with a copy tonight. Guests in the room, you're invited to pick up a copy at the door, and you're welcome. Mrs. Robin Thompson's first grade Reach class, filled with students from Skyview and Porter, have been busy blending literacy with educational technology in meaningful ways. After listening to the Chinese Year in Mayan, they worked together to recount and retell the events of the story, which strengthened comprehension and sequencing skills. Students illustrated key moments from the text, and they were even able to work on meeting their AR goals. Finally, they took their learning a step further by using Ozobots for color coding to retell the story's events in order. This hands-on experience supported literacy development while introducing foundational computational thinking skills. Stakeholders are invited to attend the annual State of the District address on Friday, January the 30th at 9 a.m. at Central High School for an update on all things happening in Bibb County schools as we push for aligned efforts, rigorous approaches, and committed delivery. In the midst of forces against public education and distractions to our work, we are the promise for a better world, and that is the theme. We are the promise. The fight is real for respect in public education, and moving with excellence is our best defense. On that same note, I'm asking for 300 parents to show up. We've sent a link through Parent Square to our parents, and there's a code that you can put in that will make that event free. And the money that we charge for the event is simply to cover the expenses of the event so we can really give you a great experience. But parents, asking you to come out. And if there are any individuals who would like to contribute by just buying a ticket and being there, or just buying a ticket, make sure that you click on the link to register and make that purchase known. And finally, there is a big day coming up next week. Bibb schools will mark the 100th day of school on Wednesday, January the 21st. I'm just blown away. These kids have 100-year-old outfits like in their closet, just waiting on this day. But at any rate, elementary students have been invited to dress as 100-year-olds in celebration. At Hurd Elementary, they are diligently preparing for the annual mac and cheese countdown for the 100th day of school. For more than 15 years at Hurd, kindergarten students have practiced counting macaroni box donations in groups of 10 before the domino boxes take off throughout the school building. On that note, let me close on this last one, y'all. So I went out to Howard High School today, and a helicopter came whirling around for what I believe was stop number 8 in the whole state of Georgia to check out one of our young men, Tashawn Poole, a 4-star safety for Howard High School. Yeah. Now, I told you I was going to bookend this. So we have my guy Avery Denny, an amazing artist in the first grade whose future is boundless. And now we have this young man. Now, y'all know if Kirby Smart from UGA is coming to see you, that probably means that Alabama, Indiana, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Miami, Morehouse, other schools, they are vying for him to come and play for them as well. This is an amazing young man. That is his amazing mother to the right who actually works for the school district. And let me tell you, I didn't go so much to see Kirby Smart. I went to see Tashawn Poole interact with Kirby Smart and to get that attention and get that love. And he is one of several examples of what is happening in our school district. And you've seen just today an example from first grade to 12th grade of what is possible in our school district. And I am just so, I mean, it was just perfect timing for this to happen of all days today to remind me that we have it covered across the board. So I want to say to my staff members who are here and our students who are here, let's continue the good fight. Don't let anybody hijack our work. You know what our work is. You keep your head down and let's get it done for the Tashans in this world, for the Averys in this world, and for every other student who counts on you more than anybody else. Amen. And I love you. That concludes my report. I'll now turn it over to Dr. Katika Lovett, our Deputy Superintendent, for further recognitions. Bring that mic down.
Good evening, President Johnson, members of the Board of Education, and Superintendent Dr. Sims. At this time, it is my pleasure to ask our Board President, Murtis C. Johnson, to please come forward. Ms. Johnson, today we thank you for your dedicated service as our board president. Over the past year, you have led this board with grace, steadiness, and a clear focus on what matters most, our children. You have been a true champion for students and a trusted ambassador for the Bibb County School District, representing our schools with integrity and pride, both at this table and throughout the community. Your leadership, your voice, and your commitment has helped move this district forward, and we are grateful for your continued service as a valued member of this Board of Education. Now it is our pleasure, in recognition of your service and on behalf of Dr. Sims and the members of the Board of Education, to present you with a commemorative gavel in honor of your service during 2025. Thank you.
Good evening. Each month, we take time to recognize partners who go above and beyond in supporting our schools, students, and families. This month's Partnership Impact Award was proudly recommended by Ingram Pie Elementary School. We are honored to recognize Corebridge Financial for their outstanding support of our district's literacy initiative. Through the generosity of Jason Shear, on behalf of Corebridge Financial, the organization donated 120 literacy kits for kindergarten and first grade students. These kits are being used during small group instruction to support early reading development and help increase the percentage of students recognizing high frequency words to 80%. Corebridge Financial is recognized as a whole child and academic support partner, providing essential resources aligned to our district's literacy, attendance, and achievement goal. Their commitment to early literacy is already making a positive and measurable impact on student learning at Ingram Pie. At this time, we ask Jason Shear, Peyton Smith, Jamie Story, and any other representatives with Corebridge Financial to please come forward to be recognized by the board and join Dr. Sims for a photo.
You get to shake our hands first. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
At this time, we'd like to invite Jason Shearer or any representative from Corebridge Financial to say a few words.
Thank you,
Mr. Jones. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, again, just thank you for having us. Anyone that knows me might be surprised that I'm going to keep it short. But I want to say, Corbridge, what was at the time Valak, has worked with Bibb County for almost 5 decades. And so I really enjoy being part of it. We help your employees we provide them financial education. We help them secure a confident retirement. And so it was a great honor, and it was a unique and fun privilege to be able to point resources towards the kids. So thank you so much for your partnership. Thank you for having us.
Please join me once again in thanking Corbridge Financial for their generosity, leadership, and steadfast belief in the future of our students and the Bibb County School District.
Each year, Beta Club members from across the state compete in a variety of disciplines as a part of Georgia's Beta Convention. This year, 2 students from Springdale Elementary School placed high enough in these competitions to qualify for national competition in Nashville, Tennessee this summer. Students, when your name is called, please come forward with Principal Dr. Cammie Hamlin, as well as advisors Tyler Lewis and Madeline Hicks, to be recognized. Tucker Smith, 2nd place, woodworking. Leela Milton, 5th place, cake decorating. We also invite you to take a picture with Dr. Sims. Congratulations, and we thank you for being built for Bibb.
At this time, we'd like to ask VIP Academy Junior Shaylin Calder-Denny to come forward along with school representatives. Last month, Shaylin was chosen by Georgia 4-H as one of 5 delegates to represent the state at the National 4-H Conference in Washington, D.C. This event, held in April, will allow her to connect with student leaders from across the country. This is the latest honor for Shaylin, who was previously named to the organization's board of directors last summer. Congratulations on this honor, and thank you for being built for Bibb.
At this time, I'd like to ask Principal Shandrika Gibson and other representatives of Miller Magnet Middle School to come forward. The Leader in Me program has been a big part of our district's success in recent years. As our schools continue to implement its strategies, some of them have found new ways to stand out among their Leader in Me peers. The Leader in Me Lighthouse Academic Honor Roll recognizes schools that have not only maintained the necessary standards for Lighthouse status, but that have also met academic growth or proficiency standards. This year, Miller Middle was recognized for its academic growth from 2024 to 2025. Miller improved 9 percentile points in the schooldigger.com statewide rankings based on Georgia's academic data. Congratulations and thank you for being built for Bibb.
Thank you to all of you. At this time, we will hear from our visitors. I want to read to you a little reminder. Speakers are reminded to abide by the rules by addressing the board that were included in your sign-up sheet and listed in policy BCBI. Speakers will have 3 minutes to speak and must stop speaking promptly when their time is up. Speaker may not address confidential student or personnel matters. So at this time, we will hear from Jonathan Fisher.
Ladies and gentlemen of the board, esteemed colleagues and community members, today I stand before you to address a pressing concern that weighs heavily on the hearts of our educators, parents, and students alike. The morale in our district is at an all-time low, and the state of our finances is nothing short of alarming. As board members, it is your fundamental responsibility to adopt and oversee the school budget, ensuring every dollar spent serves to enhance the education experience for our children. But how did we get to this point? Are we fully aware of the financial position? It's crucial to ask, do we understand how to monitor our budget with transparency and accountability? The answers to these questions are not merely academic. They are essential to our district's recovery and future success. Let's consider the impact of our financial decisions on the very stakeholders who elected you. Over the years, board votes have predominantly favored a unified front, whether it's been 8-0, 7-1, or 6-2. Yet despite this consensus, we find ourselves in a state of fiscal chaos. How do you reconcile this with the trust that our community has placed in you? The ripple effects of our financial mismanagement are felt by teachers struggling with inadequate resources, parents who worry about class sizes, and students who deserve a rich and fulfilling educational experience. Moreover, I urge you to reflect on how you are communicating with your stakeholders outside of election season. Are you engaging in meaningful dialogue with the community? Are you providing regular updates on fiscal health, and inviting feedback on critical decisions? Transparency is not just a buzzword, it's a necessity. We must foster a culture of open communication where our community feels heard and valued. Every decision made by this board must ultimately transcend beyond politics and personal agendas. It should always prioritize what's best for our children. We owe it to them to create a sustainable financial future that reflects our commitment to their growth and success. How did we get to this point regarding our financial situation? And what systems do you have in place to ensure accountability in monitoring our budget? What is the strategies that you have in place to communicate with your stakeholders outside of election season, and how can we improve this engagement, foster trust and transparency? Let's ensure that every decision we make serves our students and strengthens our community. And in closing, I challenge each of you to take a hard look at our trajectory. Let's work together to rebuild trust, improve moral, and ensure our financial decisions are sound and beneficial to our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Next, we will have Dr. Julia Danley. Dr. Danley?
Good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
I was going in a different direction.
However, the attorney, gave me some insight. And she said, let me insert myself to get some order. And what I witnessed today and what the public has witnessed, and I am the public, is confusion and chaos at the helm. And God is not the author of confusion. He is a God of order, truth, and light. And I just challenge you to look at the video from both meetings. I'm not used to this. And most of us that came up through this school system, we have never witnessed this. We came up under a strategic plan that says we're going to manage our finances and personnel. We're going to manage the perceptions. We're going to manage processes and projects and maintain a safe and orderly environment. So if God is not the author of confusion, then what is it? It's something we are dealing with as a community of wickedness in high places. And so it's our jobs as intercessors and evangelists and all of the ones who labor in the midnight hour to pray for this school system. But you have a duty and responsibility to do your job. This affects the children. And what I have witnessed today is lackadaisical, just not even serious. I don't care how much you move the money. We are still negative $20 million. You still gonna subtract it. And if we do that 2 more times, there will be a depletion of our reserve. And it needs to be fixed. I will not keep still and I will not remain silent until righteousness return in this school district. I'm on an assignment and I'm going to fulfill it because God has called me for such a time as this. I hope you receive this in your heart and use this time to reflect whether you have managed any of these 4 things well. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Danley. This time we will ask the superintendent if there are need for another executive session.
No, Madam President.
Thank you. So we will move to the consent agenda. I would like to have a motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes confirmation of the minutes from the board and the consent agenda. Okay, may I have a motion?
Madam President, I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda, which concludes confirmation of minutes from December 2025, FSS 3 through 10, PR1, PR3 through 4, and PS 1 and 2.
Second. You've heard the motion. It's been approved. A motion and second. Is there a discussion?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, sir.
On the confirmation of the minutes from December, as I said earlier, I asked that I be recorded as being against not having summer school, because at that time, the feeling and the thought that I had, and most everybody else, I think, was that was not going to be in the summer school. That is not reflected in the minutes. So if it's not going to be reflected in the minutes, I'll have to make a motion that it be reflected in the minutes.
Okay, are you making that motion now?
I am.
Will you state the motion, please?
I move that my comment asking to be reflected in the minutes as being opposed to the school system not having summer school be in the minutes.
Second.
All right, it's been motion and second that the minutes will reflect Dr. Ficklen's statement on summer school
For December.
for December. Yeah.
Dr. Ficklin, I just want to be clear. Did you make that comment at the latter part of the meeting?
I did.
Under new business? I just want to make sure it be in the right part.
Yes, I did.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yes.
Point of order. The board is free to vote on this in any direction. Historically, the practice of the board has been not to include any comments from board members in any direction on a particular issue. I just want to put that out there as a point of order for you.
And I understand that. That's why I made a motion, because all motions have to be recorded.
All right, thank you for that point of information. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. The motion carries. So the minutes will reflect Dr. Ficklen's comments.
Thank you.
At this time, we will entertain new business.
Madam President, we
Yes, sir.
still need to vote on the consent agenda, including the amendment.
At this time, we will approve the consent agenda, which will include FSS2.
We already have the consent agenda already has a motion and a second. We just need to vote on it, Madam
All
President.
right, all those who approve of the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no. The motion carries. The consent agenda has been approved. Now, we will move to new business. New business consists of FSS2.
May I make a motion to approve FSS2?
Excuse me. Might I suggest that FSS2 get added as NB3? FSS, or, yes. Well, you already have NB1 and NB2.
We always call them others from the,
You do?
yeah, that's our practice. So, right or wrong. So I make a motion that we approve FSS2
As amended?
as amended and passed out of committee.
Second.
It's been motioned by Mr. Freeman, second by Ms. Hammond, that we approve FSS2. Is there a discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposers?
No.
No.
So FSS2. The vote was
Did you vote for it?
3-4. I didn't vote for it.
In that case, it was 3-4 against, if you voted against it.
Oh, I voted for the first time, so I voted yes the first time, so it's 3.
Which is
Would
the
you like a
actual
hand vote?
I like it. Please do that. Dr. Sim.
Yes, ma'am. Board Member Garrett Boyd,
Yes.
Board Member Freeman,
Yes.
Board Member Woodford,
No.
Board Member Morton,
No.
Board Member Johnson,
Yes.
Board Member Hanlon,
Yes.
Board Member Ficklin,
No.
4-3.
4-3. Okay. And next we have, need a recommendation for PR2.
Madam President, I make a motion to approve PR2 as passed out of committee.
We have a motion by Mr. Freeman, second by Dr. Garrett Boyd. All those, is there a discussion on PR2?
I just want to reiterate that a teacher's hand should not be tied, and academic freedom should not be hindered in our system.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposers?
No.
All right, so that passes with 6-1. At this time, we will have other new business. it's new business 1, committee and board meeting calendar for CY 2026. Calendar year 2026. Board meeting calendar. Is there a motion for approval for the board calendar?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been motion by Mr. Freeman, second by Mr. Morton to approve the fiscal year calendar 2026. Is there a discussion?
Question.
Yes, sir.
Does this include the graduation dates?
For the board meeting calendar.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure because I'm opposed to the graduation dates.
Okay. Board, it's a board meeting calendar. right?
Yeah, it is board meeting.
It's
calendar.
just committee and board.
Committee and board.
Committee
Yes.
and board meeting calendar.
I just wanted to make sure we got that.
Okay, all right. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, please say no. The ayes have it, so the calendar is approved. All right, next we will have the election of the board officers. And before we do that, I want to take upon a personal privilege to say thank you. Thank you to my exemplary school board members for electing me to serve as your school board president for this year. Thank you for placing your faith and trust in me when you elected me as your president. To Dr. Dan Sims for your many talks about how to make this a better school system for our students. To board coordinator Daphne Bailey for keeping me grounded, especially with your assistance with technology and listening when I felt down. To our amazing attorney, Cheryl Culvers, for your knowledge and wisdom and your ability to keep us focused in working well with one another. This has been an amazing ride, and I've been so blessed to be able to do this for my beloved Bibb County School District. We faced many challenges this year, and we faced them together. We managed to work through them, even though we didn't always agree on everything, but we still agreed to work together. And for that, I am grateful. No matter what happens, I believe that we will continue to work together for the good of our students in this school district. With that being said, I want to say one more thing. I want you to know, Bibb County staff, Bibb County School District, all of you, I believe in you. Now, with that being said, we will move to the election of new officers for the school year 26, 27, 26, 27. All right. Under board policy BBA and BBAA, we will now be electing the officers of president, vice president, and treasurer for a one-year term. Our superintendent automatically serves as the role of the board secretary. I would like to first open the floor for nominations for the office of the president. Are there any nominations? And since I'm at the speaker, I would like to nominate Ms. Kristen Hanley as the board president. Ms. Hanley, do you accept this nomination?
I do.
All right. Are there any more?
Madam President.
Yes, ma'am. Dr. Garrett.
I would like to nominate Daryl Morton, please.
All right, thank you. Mr. Morton, do you accept this nomination?
Yes, Ms. President.
Thank you very much. Are there any other nominations for the office of president? Hearing none, is there a motion to close the nomination for the office of president?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motion and second that we close the nomination for the office of president. Is there a discussion? Now, we will proceed with the vote. We will not take the vote on the office of president.
Vote on the motion to close nominations.
All right, I didn't do that. Let us vote to close the nomination and say it two names.
All in favor?
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, please say no. Okay, now we have closed it on the say it two names. All right, now we will take the vote on the office of president. Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you, Madam President. Board members, when I call your name, please identify who you vote for. Board Member Garrett Boyd.
Mr. Morton.
Board Member Freeman.
Kristen Hanlon.
Board Member Woodford.
Hanlon.
Board Member Morton.
Daryl Morton.
Board Member Johnson.
Kristen Hanley.
Board Member Hanlon.
Kristen Hanlon.
Board Member Hester. Board Member Ficklin.
Daryl Morton.
Madam President, we have a vote of 4 votes in favor of Board Member Hanlon, 4 votes in favor of Board Member Morton, excuse me.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent Treasurer. Now, we have a tie. So, at this time, in order to help us to break this tie and have another vote, before we do that, I would like to ask each candidate for give each one a brief opportunity to address the board and give a statement in support of why you would like to serve as our next president. I will go in the order of nominations. So candidate number 1, Ms. Hanley. You were voted for first, so how would you not like to make a statement?
Thank you. Yes, I would like to make a statement. First, I wish to express my gratitude for the nomination, and I believe it is an honor to be even considered for this role. And I believe that it is my time for this role. I'm going to borrow from my esteemed colleague here and quote from Ecclesiastes, "To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven." I believe that my knowledge and experience make me the right candidate for this season. I have a degree in accounting and finance, and I've been a certified public accountant in the state of Georgia since 1988. I worked in public accounting for several years, during which time I served as a supervising auditor for a number of nonprofit institutions, county governments, local health departments, religious institutions, and other nonprofits, among the numerous other businesses and industries in which I served. For more than 30 years, I have worked in the banking industry, primarily as a commercial underwriter, where I've analyzed financial information, cash flow, and an organization's ability to repay debt. I've underwritten loans to local governments and affiliated entities, as well as numerous other nonprofit entities, including churches, private and charter schools, and other nonprofit institutions. I have prepared financial statements, I have audited financial statements, and I have analyzed financial statements. I am well aware of the challenges facing the school district, and I am prepared and ready to lead through those challenges. Additionally, as a banker, I have a heart for service and community, and I have served this community and this district since I first started volunteering at Maddie Wells Elementary School in 1990. Banking is a service occupation, and our duties are to meet the needs of our customers, to serve our stakeholders and our communities. It has been my privilege to serve as a board member for the last 5 years with this distinguished and accomplished board, and I do not take this privilege for granted. Purpose sits at the intersection of what matters to you, what you are capable of, and what contributes to something beyond yourself. What matters to me is community.
Communities with great school districts retain the students after graduation and attract new businesses and residents, creating a circle of prosperity that benefits all. A community that cares for and provides for its children, all of its children, is a community that is worthy of our service. I'm qualified and capable of leading through this season. The work that we do as a board matters. We must continue to be strong, convicted, and 100% focused on providing a superior education to the children of the district. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hanley. Mr. Morton, would you like to take the opportunity to address the board as to why you would like to be the board president?
Well, it's not just the board, but it's also the folks who are here tonight. I was in my office the other day and I looked on the wall, and there was a plaque, the Extra Mile Award, that I got from our late superintendent, Sharon Patterson, back in 2004. And it's an interesting path that brought me to the board because I'm an attorney by trade. And I started out litigating with the school system, advocating for children with special education needs, representing children who are facing disciplinary tribunals and other legal issues. And as time went on, I realized that if I wanted to make a bigger impact, it needed to be by being elected to the school board. I was first elected in 2015. 1 month before that election, my granddaughter Julia was born. She's now a student at Howard Middle School. And having her has helped me have a prism through which I view my service on the board. I've had the privilege of serving on this board for 11 years. I'm in my final year on this board. I've served on this board through some difficult times. I've been board president on this board through some difficult times. I am committed to the success of this system. I'm committed to the success of our superintendent. Most of all, I'm committed to the success of our students, who we all know are our future. We're going to be dealing with some difficult stuff coming on. We're going to have to. My commitment to this board is that I will make sure you have the best information as soon as possible so we can make the best decisions and show the community that we're acting with responsibility and transparency in doing right by you. I want to commit my last year of service on this board to leading this board, leading us through the process that we're going to have to deal with, and while being responsible to the resources that this community has entrusted to us, not only your financial resources, but most importantly, your children. I am ready, willing, and able to serve. I've done it before, and I'm glad, I appreciate having the opportunity to do it again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Morton. At this time, we will open the floor to other board members in the event anyone has a question that you would like to ask either one of the candidates that will help you to make your decision on your vote. We'll take questions at this time. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Any questions for the candidates? Hearing none, we'll move on. I will ask the superintendent to take another roll call. Superintendent?
Thank you, Madam President. When I call your name, board members, please indicate who you vote for. Board Member Garrett Boyd. Board Member Freeman.
Daryl Morton.
Board Member Woodford.
Kristen Hanlon.
Board Member Morton.
Daryl Morton.
Board Member Johnson.
Kristen Hanlon.
Board Member Hanlon. Board Member Hester. Board Member Pickling.
Daryl Martin.
If I did this correctly, it is 3-5. 3 votes for Kristen Hanlon, 5 votes Daryl Morton.
At this time, we want to congratulate.
Learn from the best. Right. Yes.
Now, we will proceed with this election. I will now take nominations for the vice president.
Madam President,
Yes, Mr.
I'd
Moore.
like to nominate Kristen Hanlon for Vice President.
Thank you.
Are there any more nominations?
Well, she wishes to accept.
Oh, will you accept? Hannah?
I would like to nominate Dr. Sandra Woodford for vice president.
Are you saying you don't accept?
I don't accept.
Don't accept. Okay. She is not nominating you. What did you accept? All right. She says she accepts. Are there other nominations? If there are no other nominations, we will close with the said one.
Madam President, may I make a motion that we close nominations for vice president?
Second.
All right, it's been motion and second that we close the nomination with Ms. Dr. Woodford. Is there discussion? All those approved, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, please say no. All right, so it's been approved that Dr. Woodford is now our new vice president.
Oh, we gotta do.
Still have to vote for.
Oh,
Question, can we move to
Unanimous
approve
consent.
by acclamation? Is that? Or do,
Move to approve by unanimous consent. We have to do a roll call vote. I'm sorry.
okay, go ahead.
We try.
Yeah.
all right, we'll take the roll call. Dr. Sims.
I'm for Sandra Woodford.
And she wants a roll call.
Board members, when I call your name, please indicate who you will vote for, given that we have one candidate. Board member Garrett Boyd,
Dr. Sandra Woodford.
board member Freeman,
Dr. Sandra Wood.
board member Woodford,
Sandra Woodford.
board member Morton,
Dr. Sandra Woodford.
board member Johnson,
Dr. Woodford.
board member Hester, board member Hanlon,
Dr. Woodford.
board member Ficklin. Unanimous for Dr. Sandra Woodford.
All right, at this time, we will accept nominations for the treasurer.
All right. Madam President, I'd like to nominate Kristen Hanlon for treasurer.
I accept the nomination.
Are there other nominations? Is there another nomination? Anyone else?
Madam President, I make a motion we close nominations for treasurer.
Second.
It's been motion and second that we close the nomination on said one name. Is there a discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Oh, Dr. Sim, please take the roll.
We're closing
We
the
got to close
nomination.
the nomination vote.
Close the nomination. Yeah, aye.
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 Nail the vote.
Now
Roll
we
call
can take
vote.
the roll.
Board members, when I call your name, please indicate who you vote for. Board member Garrett Boyd, board member Freeman,
Ms. Kristen Hanlon.
board member Woodford,
Kristen Hanlon.
board member Morton,
Kristen Hanlon.
board member Johnson,
Kristen Hanlon.
board member Hester, board member Hanlon,
This is where accountants belong.
board, board member Ficklin.
CPA Christian.
Unanimous for Kristen Hanlon.
Congratulations to you, Ms. Hanlon. Okay. It's been a long day. Is there any old business? If not, may I have?
Madam President,
Yes, sir.
if I may just take just a moment, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for an amazing year of service. It has been a pleasure to work alongside you in this space. I have something else to say to you when it's time for me to leave, but I can't do that now. It has to wait, and I know that kind of messes you up. Like, what are you gonna say? But it has to wait until I depart, and that's no time soon. No time soon. But just grateful. I understand how important it is, and I've learned how important it is for the good working relationship between the president and the superintendent. And we continue to make that something that makes this district work well. And I just want to say how grateful I am to you for how we've worked together over this past year. I'm honored to have called you our president.
Thank you, Dr. Sims, and I thank you for the way you have worked with me. Even though I've made some boo-boos several times, I appreciate you and my fellow board members for bringing me back to my senses with a smile. And you add so much humor to it. So I appreciate that. I really do. As I said earlier today, we are not perfect. Those of us who are perfect, let them cast the first stone at the other one who is not perfect. So with that, may I have a motion to adjourn this?
So moved.
Second. Third. And it will go down in history that Henry always on top of it when it's time to adjourn the meeting. I've enjoyed serving as your president. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. The meeting is adjourned. Go home.